Gents, welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Today it is Chelsea, it is Manchester United. And as you can see, I have a guest on today who's actually repping a different colour to me. And he's actually on the wrong side. He is on the Manchester United side. This is Yusuf, who's just gone green again. We don't know why his camera keeps doing that. But God knows, we'll get it sorted. But welcome to you, Yusuf. Are you excited for today's game?
I was until I realised Ronaldo's not playing.
Yes. We'll get into the team news in a little bit. A massive decision to not play Ronaldo, but we'll get into the team news in a little bit. United under a different leadership today. They have got not Thor Ragnarok, but they've got Radnarik in goal. If that's how you pronounce his name, that's who they've got. And honestly, I have no clue why you keep going green. It's so weird. This is the weirdest thing to ever happen. It must be a glitch with your camera. It must be. But anyway, yeah. So,
I'm looking at the screen now.
Are you excited for this period under new management, new leadership?
Well, it's a weird one because he's not actually in yet,
and
it's another weird one in that he has a very distinct play style, and he only has 6 months to sort of institute it before his consultancy period starts. And God knows what that means.
Yeah, God knows. I was looking at a bit of the history around him, and it's this mental sort of thing because he went from being a player manager to consulting teams like RB Leipzig and Salzburg and leading the Red Bull brands of teams and all of that stuff. And obviously he's done a fantastic job at Leipzig to get the players in, get the players out and make a lot of money. So maybe that's the direction Manchester United are looking to go in. But definitely an exciting period if you're a Manchester United fan, even if maybe his politics generally aren't as great as you might want them to be. But whilst Yusuf is green again, we will go and we will have a look at the team lineups for today. Let me share my screen. Here we go. So let's have a rundown of the two sides today. And the big thing to notice is just looking at both of these two teams at the moment is that both teams have quite a few changes and maybe some players that you wouldn't expect to be here and wouldn't expect to be in the lineup at all. Obviously, United with a few injuries, Chelsea with a few injuries, everyone with a few injuries at the moment. It doesn't seem to be a good period for injuries at the moment. And yeah, Yusuf, just do whatever, see what happens, mate. So with the teams for today, we start off, we've got Edouard Mendy in goal for Chelsea. And no surprises really there. Kepa's not had a sniff, has he? Not had a sniff in recent weeks. And then the three at the back that Chelsea are opting for today, of course, there's no Ben Chilwell, who looks like he could be out for up to a season, which is a massive blow for Chelsea. And the three at the back, though, we are starting with is Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva and Antonio Rudiger, with the two wing-backs of Marcus Alonso and Reece James. Marcus Alonso, of course, isn't that much of a downgrade, especially at the moment. Marcus Alonso started off at the beginning of the season with a really good sort of run of form, but maybe that was because Ben Chilwell was there pushing him all the way and he had to perform to keep his spot in the side. And maybe that's the reason. But hopefully we'll see a good attacking and defensive display from Marcus Alonso. Then across the midfield, we have Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The important thing here is Kovacic and Kante are both still out injured. Kante did pick up a knock midweek, which has seen him out for, I think he's returning at the beginning of December, maybe in a couple of weeks' time. It is just a knock to his knee. So a big loss for Chelsea in terms of how good a player that N'Golo Kante is. But for United, I'm sure that's a massive benefit. And then the three up front we have gone with. Chelsea do actually have a striker for today, which is the important part. We do have a striker. Whether he can actually find the back of the net is a different question. Hakim Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner are the three up front. So now I'm going to come to you, Yusuf. Which player specifically are you looking at in that Chelsea side and going, he's the danger man, he is who the likes of Bailly and Victor Lindelof need to keep under wraps today? Is there a player in this Chelsea team that really puts fear into you?
Well, the entire team, if that's like I'm terrified. The one thing I'm most terrified of is the wing backs because of the weird formation we're playing. Depending on the formation we're playing, if we are playing without wingers and we are going 2 up front with sort of 3 sitting, the wing backs will have a fielder and stretch our midfield out. Either the 2 defensive midfielders or the 3 defensive midfielders, they go wide to help with the wing backs, and they just get stretched out, and you get the middle of the park. Or our 3 defensive midfielders just sit very deep, central, and Reece James and Alonso just have a fielder.
Yeah. Anything could happen, and we'll get onto United's sort of lineup at the minute. It's a bit of a weird one, actually, especially with, like you said earlier, no Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo being a key goal scorer wherever he goes. So it is a little bit of a weird one to start off with. And Timo Werner, will he cause you some problems today? Are you worried about Werner at all?
I'm worried about everyone. Have you seen United defend recently? And we're getting all excited about Rangnick. He's not in yet. We haven't really made any changes. The players are the same. The coaching staff is exactly the same. We're probably going to be about as bad as we've been for the past few months. So, yeah.
And we will move on to, I'm just stuffing my face with a protein bar at the moment. We will move on to Manchester United's team. And United changing up the formation. Ole was a big fan of 4-2-3-1. I'm quite surprised today, though, that we aren't seeing Donny van der Beek starting in this team. I think it would have been quite nice to see Donny van der Beek, but let's have a look. David De Gea starts in goal. A man who last season was being, United fans were very quick to say, get him out, get Dean Henderson in. This season, now that he's got some form, well, United fans have gone quiet. They haven't been saying that whatsoever. And I guess that's credit where credit's due to David De Gea for a fantastic sort of start to the season. He really has kept Manchester United alive this season, and I know that's hard to say considering they're 8th, 9th now, but he really has kept them alive so far this season. The 4 at the back is Alex Telles, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Maguire, he is what? He's suspended. Varane is injured. Luke Shaw, is he injured as well? Yeah.
I have no idea, but can I just say that it's great to see Phil Jones back, and
Phil Jones back on the bench. That is an iconic player for Manchester United. And then the 3 across midfield, no real surprises here because United are a bit short in midfield at the moment, with Fred, Nemanja Matic, and Scott McTominay. Of course, Nemanja Matic, who did used to play for Chelsea all those years ago. Now it's 5-6 years ago, never really had the player that you expected you were going to get when you bought Nemanja Matic from Chelsea, did you?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
You never quite really got the player you expected when you got Nemanja Matic from Chelsea, did you? You expected maybe a lot more proficient player than that.
I think it was a classic Mourinho signing in that we got an excellent year from him. Short term, he worked out fine for that year. We finished 2nd, and age catches up to everyone. Yeah. I think he's still probably our best defensive midfielder if he had any legs left.
Yeah, he is a good player. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, you don't have to worry about him. He'll be in the right position. But if he gets exposed and someone like a Hudson-Odoi drops in and then just sort of gets around him, then there's no chance for him to recover because he is, he's getting older now. I'm not going to say he's getting old because he's 34, 35, maybe not even that.
Yeah, which in football years.
Yeah, in the grand terms of life isn't old, but in terms of a footballer, it definitely is. Then the captain for today is Bruno Fernandes. If I was David De Gea, I would be fuming that I'm not captain. Looking at this side, David De Gea, I would be fuming if I wasn't captain for this. Or even Nemanja Matic. Bruno is an attacking midfielder. I don't see him as a leader. Interested to see if you think Bruno Fernandes is a leader, because I really don't see him as a leader.
So there's 2 things here for me. First of all, I don't really like goalkeepers as captains for no other reason other than they're too far removed from sort of... So for me, a captain is someone who sort of can... I hate to say this, but soft power on the pitch to sort of like influence referees and other players. Whereas when you're a goalkeeper, you're a tad removed from that.
Yeah.
I think Bruno, since he came in, has sort of completely rejuvenated the side.
Yeah.
And when you do see him on the pitch, he is incredibly vocal, and he does sort of challenge players, which I think is something that we have sort of missed. So I don't particularly mind Bruno Fernandes being the captain, and I think he's definitely one of the senior players in the team. There's definitely a bit of a leadership deficit. I think you could say that about a lot of teams and what we expect from leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. My thing though for captains is I always like to have a central player, and I usually go for a defender or a goalkeeper because they can see everything that's going on, and that's why I don't like Bruno Fernandes. Yes, he's in there and he's around there, but I prefer to have someone who can see everything that's going on the pitch. And of course, when you are further up the pitch, you can see it, but you can only see it when you're looking back, whereas looking forward, that is probably the most important part. Like being a goalkeeper, looking forward, looking and seeing everything that's going on in front of you, you can tell people where to go. Whereas you can't always do that from a Bruno perspective, who's further forward sort of thing. And then the two up front, again, a weird decision from Michael Carrick, but I mean, I guess I'm not going to knock it. It's Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, and two players more than capable of both playing through the middle and working well in a sort of more of a 4-3-3. It looks like it's going to be a 4-3-1-2 though for today. But what do you make of this United side, Yusuf? Obviously, with that Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho front two.
Well, so the thing is, I'm not entirely sure they're going to be as central as we think. I think it's going to be more of like a split striker system, or they're going to be a lot further out wide. It's probably going to be Bruno who plays more of that false nine role. You never know, though. We don't really know the lineup. It could be anything. And with this United side, they've changed every single week. So it really could be any system.
Yeah.
God,
It definitely could. It really definitely could.
Yeah. On the thing about sort of goalkeeper being able to see the team and tell everyone sort of what to do and where to be, I sort of think they should be doing that anyway, and I don't think it needs an armband to sort of tell them that.
Yeah, I guess so. I've just always fancied centre backs and goalkeepers because you can see everything that's going on in front of you, and importantly, when you're defending, you can. It is. I do understand. Like, I definitely think that they should do that to some degree anyway. But I guess preference is preference, isn't it? It just depends on who you think. I just don't see Bruno Fernandes, Kermit the Frog himself, as a leader. But those are the teams for today then, guys. Let's get us back to how we were. Here we go. And let's see what you guys have got going on as well. And let us know your score predictions for today. Yusuf, I'm going to come to you for yours in a little second as well. So, J-Back has gone Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1. So J-Back's saying this is going to be a very, very close game. I'm sure Yusuf would love for it to be that close. Oliver's in the chat as well. We've got the gaming peeps in the chat. We've got Josh Chats Football in here as well. Dear Reece James and Antonio Rudiger, save my FPL game week. I think a lot of people I think it's been a weird game week, hasn't it, FPL wise? You haven't really had any of the big goal scorers that you would expect score. So I don't know. I don't know how people are getting points this week. I captained Trent Alexander-Arnold, which ended up being a stroke of genius, which is quite surprising for me. Oliver saying my 4-1 won't happen. A 4-1 won't happen with Timo. Oliver's going 4-1 to Chelsea, I'm guessing. And it's live. I guessing you're slightly ahead of us then, Max, because I am not there. Yusuf, remember to pause it just as you get there. And I'm hoping for either a Chelsea clean sheet or a Rudiger James goal. Why not both? And Active Aaron is in the chat as well. So Yusuf, it comes to that moment, it comes to that time. What are you going to go with? We've seen the teams. What are you going to go with for your score prediction for this for today's game?
I'm thinking Chelsea are going to whoop us. So I'm going 3-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea. I mean, I personally like the optimism for Chelsea, but unfortunately, I'm not that confident. And I've said it before, and I will say it again, that there's that new spring to United's step. It could be that under Michael Carrick, they have a bit more freedom to play. And by the look of the formation, there could be a lot more freedom for this Manchester United team. And I see it being quite a close one, if I'm honest with you, unless Chelsea really, really do get their tactics right tonight. And so I'm going to go, I think I'm actually going to go with J-Back, and I am going to go with What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with 2-1 to Chelsea. I still think Chelsea will edge it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people are making out because it's United. They can do whatever. So we are a few minutes away from kickoff here. I'm sure Yusuf is up to speed and everything. Evening to you, Shah, as well. If anyone hasn't already, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. Let us know your score predictions. Just players taking the knee at the moment. Timo Werner will get us kicked off in a second. And Timo Werner does get us underway here at Stamford Bridge. Yusuf, has your camera gone off? There we are. We've got you back now. We've got you.
I was trying to figure out how to get my audio on my phone in my headphones.
All right, fair enough.
Listen to the game, but that's fine.
Fair enough.
I'd much rather listen to you, Sam. Don't worry.
I know, exactly. That's all I do anyway. I can't hear it. I just have to talk. So it's a lonely couple of hours if the chat isn't popping off. So hopefully today the chat will be popping off. Who is this lovely guest? He is Yusuf. He is one of my colleagues at work as well. Yusuf, did you pause yours, by the way, when it started? The football. Are you ahead of me?
I am well ahead of you. I'm about a minute or two ahead.
Oh God! Can you pause it so that we're at the same time?
All right. So I'm on a minute 45. So
Okay,
let me know when you're at a minute 45 now.
Yeah, I'm just getting to a minute here. Rudiger playing the ball over the top there, cleared by Lindelof. Yeah, I'm literally 45 seconds behind. That's not that bad actually, considering. Nice Movember, says Oliver. So Yusuf, you should have shaved the rest of your beard. He's put nice Movember for you. So you should have shaved your beard. How do you feel about that?
So that is me tonight. I'm going to shave the rest of the beard off for the last 2 days. I've got plenty of donations. I worked hard on this. A solid month's growth.
It is. And if you did want to donate to Yusuf's thing, Movember, then be sure to do that. I'm sure Yusuf can drop a link in the chat if you fancy donating. Anything would be greatly appreciated. That's 45 now, Yusuf. So if you press play, we'll be on our way. Sam, why are you always delayed? Because I don't have a box, so I have to watch it like on a Fire Stick or whatever like that. So it's always slightly delayed because it's not actually live. Sam,
completely legal methods, of course.
Yeah, completely legal. Completely legal. So yeah, this is going to be. I'm really excited for this game. Really, really excited for this game. I honestly don't even know where to begin with questions for you, Yusuf, because it's a weird time to be a United fan. It must be a really weird time to be a United fan. But what I'm going to start off with, there's a lot of talk at the minute. João Cancelo, Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is Wan-Bissaka anywhere near that level of them? Is he in that conversation?
Not at all. But I don't mind. I don't mind because he's not a bad player. Like, he is not an awful player. He's pretty damn good. He's pretty solid. He's not on that leveler. It's harsh realities, but he does a serviceable job just as he screws up there.
Yeah, as it goes through his legs, and that's fallen to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi's in! Oh my gosh, that was so close. So close from Hudson-Odoi, who's made a good start to this season, and David De Gea does very, very well to smother it there. Thiago Silva looking long again. That looks like it'll be what Chelsea's outball is for this afternoon. They seem to do it a lot when they play the bigger teams. They did it when they played Manchester City a few seasons ago. They look for that long ball to spread the defenders wide, but very, very good save from David De Gea there. Lovely side. Lovely save, sorry. I honestly have no clue what your camera is doing here, Yusuf. I don't get it. I don't get why it goes green.
At half time, we can do a tech change.
I mean, you can do it now if you really wanted to.
But what can you do? Any recommendations in the chat on how to fix this?
Yeah, I literally have no clue. I have no clue. We can see like 3 versions of you in green. Oliver says, I love Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He is a Crystal Palace fan. He came from Palace, but if he could attack, he would be class. I mean, I wouldn't say he can't attack. I just think the standards and the expectations which are put upon you as for a United fullback and for a modern day fullback is massive. Max's suggestion is turn it on and off again, and Shaz is just get another camera. You just came back on again there. That was really weird. You just like leant forward and it came back on.
Well. Oh, wait, I'm back.
We've got you back. We've got you back. Who cares? Who cares? 5 minutes on the clock, ladies and gents. Unfortunately, we don't have the timer for today because we have Yusuf instead. So hopefully that'll make up for the lack of timer. Sam, can you get Discord? I mean, I need to set up like a proper Discord and not one that's under my Xbox gamer tag because I'm not sharing that publicly. It is from like when I was like 15, so I do need to get another one. Chelsea here look to have started the brightest out of the two sides. Manchester United maybe just want to keep themselves in the game for the first 5 minutes, make sure that Chelsea don't make a quick start, and then they can build, then they can move themselves forward. Lovely snow today at Preston. Yeah, it's been snowing in Huddersfield as well, as I'm sure it has been across West Yorkshire. So I'm sure Yusuf has also had some as well. Oh, bit of a risky ball then to Thiago Silva, but he's done well to get the ball off to Trevor Chalobah. Cristiano Ronaldo not featuring today. I thought that was Trevor Chalobah against Ronaldo. I thought that would be the decisive sort of attacking. Oh, is Timo Werner? Has he fouled him? Yes, he has fouled him there, Timo Werner. Ball lofted over the top, and Werner's just put his hands on the back of. I believe that was Lindelof, who I think he's got away with one there. What do you think, Yusuf?
Yeah, it wasn't a foul.
Definitely wasn't a foul in my opinion. And snow in Burnley as well. Please, can you sort out Discord before the new year? Yes, I will do. I'll get that sorted for you, Max. Remind me, message me on TikTok and remind me. If anyone hasn't already, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. Also go over to my socials or the Twitch chat as well. And let's get our regular 2 people in the Twitch chat, which we normally have. And afternoon to you, Fraser, as well. Let us know if you haven't already, guys, your score predictions for today's game. 7 minutes in, 7 minutes on the clock. Michael Carrick with a dashing beard there. I mean, he's got the 3rd best beard that we can see on the stream at the moment. So any other day would be a good beard, right?
I think it depends what you're rating the beard on, though.
I guess so.
Because I'd say it's neater than ours.
Yeah, it definitely is neater than ours, but we don't put that much time or effort into ours. We just let it grow because it's easy. And we also have a particular Hyro who's popped in. Afternoon to you, Hyro, as well. And which Yusuf is that? That is the Combined Authorities' one and only Yusuf. The man, the myth, the legend that is. So
I'm actually the only Yusuf at the Combined Authority.
I would assume so, yeah. It's not that common a name, is it?
It's one of the most common names in the Islamic world, Sam. Come on, where's your cultural diversity here?
Sorry, I do apologise.
So considering we're awful at defending set pieces, this should be interesting.
Yeah, Chelsea with a free kick really deep inside the Manchester United half here. It looks like Reece James has gone out to whip that. I'm just saying that just from the pan over the top there that we had from that camera. I couldn't really tell. It is Reece James by the looks of things who's going to whip this one in. United have, I think, pretty much everyone in the box here. Maybe that's the technique. Just cram the box with Manchester United players and then you can't concede. Reece James whips it in looking for Rudiger. Cleared, though, by Scott McSauce. Here's Werner. Werner tries to shoot, but blocked and cleared by Manchester United. And United might be able to attack here. And Rashford putting pressure on Jorginho. But Jorginho does really well, actually, because Rashford always had the legs on him there. Rashford was always going to outrun Jorginho, but he did really well to offload that to Marcus Alonso. And Chelsea might be able to build here again. Here's Hakim Ziyech, who goes into Timo Werner. Werner dances, goes past a few, and goes to the byline. And Wan-Bissaka with a good block has cut it out. I was wondering how Yusuf already got a guest slot. I've begged at least twice. Well, we haven't played Spurs yet, Hyro. We haven't played Spurs. So when it's Chelsea versus Spurs, have we played Spurs? I don't think we've played Spurs. Have we played Spurs?
Do you know, to make it worse,
What?
Hyro, to make it worse, Sam asked me. I never even asked to come on.
Yeah, no, he begged. He was like, Sam, I need to come on. Screw Hyro. I know he wants you to come on, but he said that is what Yusuf said to me. I've got it in text messages, and it will be exposed, and the combined authority will come crashing down.
He was begging me. Sam was begging me, saying, "Please, please, Yusuf, can you come on? Otherwise, Hyro will have to come on. We just can't have that."
Hyro, the Manchester United expert. Maybe I'll get my mate Tyrone Mings to come on for the next stream. What a mad day that was. Jorginho giving away a foul there on Scott McTominay. United seem to be defending really deep here. It does look like United have 7 defenders and then an attacking threesome up front. There we are. Cristiano Ronaldo sat on the bench. Weird decision that. Happy Christmas. I think you're a bit early, Sean, but thank you. Merry Christmas to you. And hope you have a fantastic. Oh, Max, I haven't sent you the screenshot. I'll send you the screenshot after this.
So Sam, I have a question for you. So you know how Michael Carrick was essentially a defensive midfielder?
Yeah.
Do you think there's something about managers sort of taking the style that they use, and that's why Michael Carrick has put on 3 defensive midfielders today?
I mean, maybe, but then Chelsea would have been one of the best teams in the world under Frank Lampard, and I guess that didn't work out. There's definitely something about it because they like to be able to. You're able to dictate how players play, aren't you? Because you know how to play in that formation. It is. I guess you can say it is, but I just think Michael Carrick's just gone to try and defend, do a job here before Ragnarok or whatever his name is comes in. I think he's just sort of damage limitation for today and try and if they can hold on for a point, if they can nick a point themselves on the counter attack with 3 fast players, then absolutely do that. But yeah, Michael Carrick. I personally think Michael Carrick, throughout his career was a good player. He wasn't an excellent player. He was a good player. If you were to say, I don't even know whose level he would be on now. Maybe like a Jorginho's level. Maybe someone like that. That would be the level that I would sort of give him on a regular sort of season, that him and Jorginho, oh, what a ball that is. Oh, Timo Werner nearly spun the defender there and nearly got himself through, but David De Gea was onto that. But Michael Carrick, I think, is one of those players who was that underrated during his time at Manchester United and at Spurs, has now become overrated because everyone makes out that he was like the second coming of Pirlo, when in reality, he was just a good player. He just wasn't that good. Intrigued to see what you think to that, Yusuf, as a United fan. But that's the perspective I've always had. I've not like underrated him, but I've never overrated him. And I think now he's that underrated, he's become overrated.
I think you get that with a lot of players, although I do think Carrick was one of the best defensive midfielders in the country, especially in sort of like the last 2 years under Fergie. There were certainly moments where he really wasn't that good either, especially after, was it Rome in 2009, the Champions League final, where he made not really a bit of a mistake, but he had a bit of a mare, and it feels like it took him a few years to like psychologically recover from that game. But yeah, I think he definitely should have got more in caps than he got. I think like 30 odd caps, which is a bit poor considering we really needed a defensive midfielder for a lot of his time, especially when it's sort of. But then I guess there's something about who you're going to drop for him.
Yeah, because that's always the problem, and obviously Scholesy. I've heard that Scholesy regrets retiring from English football because he retired after 2004 was it? He retired from English football, which was obviously a lot earlier on than Lamps, Gerrard, Rooney, all of these players. But I just think Michael Carrick was never that top player that maybe the media and people, basically social media at the moment, make him out to be. I think he was a good player, but as Carrick said, as Hyro says here, Carrick was always mediocre, and that's coming from a Spurs fan. So intrigued to know what you guys think. Sam, what minute you on? We are on minute 14 at the moment. And Thogden's streaming the Chelsea game. He's actually a Bolton Wanderers fan. I mean, you can stream whoever you want, really. You can stream whoever you want. That's a lovely ball out to Reece James. James finds Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech is going to twist and turn and try and get some space here against Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly does well, though. Good defending there from Eric Bailly, and manages to pin the ball out, but only as far as Rashford. And Rashford's given the ball away here. Chalobah into, I believe that was Ziyech there, sort of roaming. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, massive game for Ruben Loftus-Cheek today. I think it could be a huge, phenomenal performance for Ruben Loftus-Cheek today, because he's looked so good in a Chelsea shirt of late, and we've not seen it for the best part of 3, 4, 5 years in a Chelsea shirt. We've not really seen it, and against a team like Manchester United, the quality's there. There's no sort of, when you're playing the Champions League against people like Malmo, they go, oh, it's only Malmo. You can't say that with Manchester United. You can't say it's only Manchester United, because this side is more than capable of turning over this, on their form, more than capable of turning over this Chelsea team. What have you made to sort of the career of Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Because he's now 26, so he's not a youth talent anymore. He's a player that who everyone looked at Chelsea and went, he's going to be a good player in the future. He's now 25, 26. What do you reckon, Yusuf? Will this be a vital season for Ruben Loftus-Cheek this season?
If I'm honest with you, I completely zoned out for a second. I was watching the football. Thinking you're talking about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. There's definitely a lot there, but I do worry in a stat Chelsea side about how much game time he's going to get and whether that's useful for his development. There's obviously something about playing with the best players that you can, and I think that will definitely help him. For me personally, I've never really known what type of player he was and sort of what mold of a player he's going to become. And I feel as though having sort of like a clear definition, that sounds really sad, but sort of knowing what sort of player you are will help your development. I'm not sure what you think of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more actually there, Yusuf, because there was a certain period of time, wasn't there, where he was an attacking midfielder, then he was a box-to-box midfielder, and now he seems to have settled in this Chelsea team, just sort of breaking up the play. And when Jorginho gets the ball, he's the man to then drive the ball forward and take the ball further forward. And he seems to do quite well in that role. And the opportunities are there for him to move forward, especially if you've got the likes of Mason Mount further up the pitch. It gives him an opportunity to drive forward, knowing that someone like a Mount or a Kante can easily cover him and get himself forward. And I think the thing is, like last season, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is good in good teams, but last season at Fulham, he wasn't great because the expectation, like you said, you don't know what type of player he is. Last season, he didn't know his role in the Fulham side, whereas this season he knows his role. He's set up alongside Jorginho today nicely, and he's a really good player to take the ball out. He's almost as good as Rudiger, which is surprising that Rudiger's that good at the moment. We seem to have lost your camera for the second, Yusuf. I'm assuming you're changing it.
Yep, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try and switch to make it work a little bit better.
Yeah, fair enough. Out to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi up against Wan-Bissaka. Pulls it back to Ziyech. Ziyech. Not a great effort on target there from Hakim Ziyech, and it has gone actually over the top of the crossbar there. But better from Chelsea. They were spreading the play wide there, and like Yusuf spoke about when we went through the Manchester United and the Chelsea sides, Chelsea going wide, using those wing backs and wide players to spread the United defenders, because I think that's the best way that Chelsea are going to go forward. They're going to cut the teams apart, and they're going to use those gaps in between the defence and the midfield, which we're so often used to seeing Chelsea do. Max says just wants a goal already. I mean, I think it's been quite a good game so far. Chelsea look on top at the moment. It's Sam versus Shah today. It is. Me and Shah won't be friends depending on the way this game goes. Hudson-Odoi comes all the way back to Rudiger though. Rudiger finds Jorginho. Jorginho has a bit of room here. Decides instead to play it over to Thiago Silva. Here's Chalobah. Chalobah into the feet of Reece James. James back into Chalobah. Chelsea just waiting, just testing, just probing. United have every man behind the ball here. I think this is going to be the story of, oh yeah, there we are. Yusuf's gone for the second. You can see this is the reason why I don't just use the green screen by myself, because you can see like all of this outside bit, and it kind of loses the effect of what we're going for. Reece James goes to Jorginho there, back into Chalobah. Chelsea taking their time, just moving the play around nice and slowly. Lovely ball though there. And that's a great ball from Jorginho to find Alonso. Alonso in behind Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka does well though to get back, and good defending there from Aaron Wan-Bissaka there to get in behind Marcus Alonso there. Marcus Alonso was really exposed there, exposing Wan-Bissaka there for a second. We've got Yusuf back. Here he is.
Am I back?
Yeah, you look like you're back anyway.
I'm using the most ancient webcam. I brought it in 2008.
In 2008, blimey. God, blimey. Some of the people in the chat won't even be born in 2008, Yusuf. That's going to make you feel old. That's going to make you feel old. 20 minutes on the clock, ladies and gents. Still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Chelsea so far have had the better of the opportunities. Not really a clear-cut opportunity, but definitely the better of the play. Yusuf, what have you made of the first 20 minutes from a United perspective?
I feel as though we've conceded sort of 3 big chances already, and I'm really surprised the AS haven't scored yet.
Fair enough. Short, sweet, efficient. Love it. Love it. I would agree with that. Chelsea maybe just need that cutting edge up front. Maybe a Lukaku would have been needed. But Hudson-Odoi's attempt, to be fair, it was a good save by David De Gea early on to deny Hudson-Odoi. But Chelsea, they'll get their chances, but it's just whether Chelsea take them. I think that's the one thing around question marks around Chelsea is if Lukaku isn't playing, where do the goals come from? Because we're not going to be able to rely on Ben Chilwell all season. But here goes Bruno Fernandes, rolls in Jadon Sancho. Sancho back to Bruno. Bruno's going to fire one, and that's an awful attempt from Bruno Fernandes. That was awful.
That was actually a cross, Sam.
Oh, right. Is that what you're going to go with? Oh, Bruno Fernandes. What an awful strike on goal there from Bruno. Not his finest moment there from Bruno Fernandes. Not his finest moment. Shah says, Yusuf, I'm friends with you, but not with Sam. Yusuf Shah is a Manchester United fan. That's why he's put that. Chelsea living dangerously here, trying to play out from the back. I'm not always a big fan of playing out from the back, and they've given the ball away to Scott McSauce here. Here's Bruno, who's Scott McTominay did really well there to keep his feet and keep hold of the ball. Alex Telles, who we've not seen much so far in this game, or in a Manchester United shirt, actually, after making a big money move from the Portuguese league. Here's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, goes back to Jorginho, lovely ball there, and that's a flick round the corner from Ziyech, who finds Reece James. Reece James pulls it across. Marcus Alonso's waiting. Oh, Wan-Bissaka has just done enough there. Just done enough. I think that's good defending in the end by Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I don't know, because for me, that's always Wan-Bissaka's greatest weakness. It's far post defending when something comes over him. I think Alonso should have done a lot better there.
Does he touch the ball here, Wan-Bissaka? Because if it is, no, he doesn't touch the ball. Yeah. He doesn't touch the ball. So it's almost that expectation of the ball being touched that has thrown him off.
Oh, so you're saying it's ridiculously smart defending from Wan-Bissaka and it's amazing gamesmanship, and he's just completely tricked Alonso there.
Yeah, exactly. There's always another side to the coin, isn't there? Scott McTominay seems to be playing really high up at the moment. He seems to be sort of playing it almost looks like a 4-1-2-1-2 at the moment, doesn't it? Rather than a false 9, with Scott McTominay with a bit more sort of ability to roam forward. Hyro says, these Manchester United fans passing off a terrible cross as a good shot. I mean, that would not surprise me. Not surprise me whatsoever. Classic Manchester United fan, really. Classic Manchester United fan.
With McTominay, though, I don't think McTominay is well suited to be a defensive midfielder moving forward. I think he is much better as a box-to-box midfielder.
Oh, I do. I think he's strong. He's good on the ball. He can move the ball nicely, and he does have defensive ability about him as well. So I definitely think he can do that role. Oh, that's a ball forward that's found Bruno. Bruno looks to slide in there, Marcus Rashford, and just not quite on the same wavelength there. And Chelsea might be able to attack themselves with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. United getting men back, though. There's a massive gap between the two centre-halves, though, if they can exploit that. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Rolls it into Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek looked like he was going to wind up to hit one. Instead, chooses to go to Jorginho. Jorginho's given the ball away here. A bit sloppy the last couple of minutes for both sides. Here's Reece James. Reece James bundles into Nemanja Matic there, but play continues. Jorginho finds Loftus-Cheek, bit of space here. He's going to come out wide to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi against Wan-Bissaka. Looks to clip one in. Oh, it's Werner in the box. And I think Bailly's just done enough there to put him off. with a little shove in the back. So I'm going to be back at half-time, going to go eat my burger. Okay, Shah, enjoy. Isn't it a bit early to be eating, Shah? He's someone's grandma. And at least it's not 2-0 already, like the LFC game, lol, says Max. Yeah, at least it's not 2-0 for you, Yusuf.
It sort of feels as bad.
At least there's definitely opportunities here. And United seem to be starting to grow into this game slightly. They seem to be starting to work out this Chelsea formation.
I was going to say, I don't know how much of that is because the game descended into a bit of sloppiness and that suits us a lot more because we're not that good at football.
Because you're not very good. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, potentially. There is always that, isn't there? There is always that. Here's Reece James. But you do seem to have a bit more of a press on, like there with Reece James on the ball. There was sort of 3 players around him, and only Jorginho really had a little bit of space. But even there, you'd have to play the ball through sort of 2-3 players to find Jorginho. But here is Hakim Ziyech, and that's a dodgy bit of play from Hakim Ziyech. James whips in the cross, and that is no danger for the Manchester United defenders. 26 minutes on the clock, still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, and I would personally say, from a Chelsea perspective, maybe a little bit disappointing, but United, they're standing firm. They're doing their defensive duties at the moment. Whether they can take this all game, especially if a Lukaku or Mount or someone like that comes on, that is completely different ball game. Completely different ball game. Of course, United don't have the best substitution out of them all in Cristiano Ronaldo. And we know how good Cristiano Ronaldo is, especially at scoring late goals for Manchester United. So Chelsea don't want to leave it too late. They definitely don't, because the great man can do anything, but that's a dodgy ball. And Marcus Alonso doing his defensive duties really well that time. Here's Reece James. James has to come back to Trevor Chalobah. What do you make to Marcus Rashford then? I'm going to bring up Marcus Rashford because I think he's a player that maybe United fans would have been hoping for better things for. I think maybe his goal output maybe should be a little bit better than what we've seen over the last sort of season and a bit. What do you reckon, Yusuf? Obviously, we saw in Project Restart, him and Martial both be fantastic in form, scoring about 15 goals during that season. But last season wasn't the best for Marcus Rashford, was it?
I think there is something there about playing through injury and understanding your body. So do you remember years ago with Gerrard and Sturridge? So Sturridge was constantly injured, and one thing that a lot of Liverpool players would mention is the difference between Gerrard and Sturridge, whereas Gerrard, from experience, would sort of know when his body is right and when it's enough to play through and when he's injured. Whereas Sturridge sometimes would have like a tiny knock that he could probably play through but wouldn't. And there's a balance there. And I don't think Rashford quite understood that balance and was playing through the pain barrier when he really shouldn't be. And that affected his form. And a lot of that is down to staff structure and management as well. Whereas sometimes you have to tell a player when he's injured and when he shouldn't be playing. And he shouldn't be putting off a surgery that puts you off for a few months for about half a year.
Yeah. And when you think about it as well, of course, that links back to, if you remember, Fernando Torres before the 2010 World Cup, before he got injured, he was in the form of his life at Liverpool. And then from there, we didn't really see at club level, did we, the Fernando Torres that we'd seen before. And Marcus Rashford maybe needs to learn from that. It's a shame that, there isn't someone like that from Manchester United's perspective who is still involved in the club. Maybe someone like a Michael Owen could teach him a few things about, how to use your body properly, because Michael Owen, for all of his nonsense that he does talk and saying that he saw Meslier at Leeds United's academy, even though he signed when he was 17 for them from a French team, for all his rubbish, he does have knowledge on stuff like that. And I think Rashford specifically could, like you say, do with someone like that, a role model who knows now how to use their body and knows not to work themselves into the ground, because Michael Owen's a prime example of that we might in 4 or 5 years time have a 28-year-old Marcus Rashford who doesn't have any legs on him. And that was a bit scrappy there from Manchester United and from Chelsea. Chelsea did quite well there to get themselves a foul. I think that was maybe a bit of a each their own sort of situation, bit of a 50-50, but Sancho would have been on the counter-attack there. But like I say, Fernando Torres was another player that we saw, wasn't it? it was another player that we saw just sort of rush themselves back from injury, and as a result of it, not seeing the player, never saw the player again that we knew before the injury. And your legs, they're such important parts. It's not like Jamie Vardy with his little thing on his arm, is it? It's not the same.
I think there was something there with Rooney as well. So Rooney, after 2009, 2010, where he was in the form of his life, scoring a ridiculous amount of goals, and then was it the Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, where he had an ankle injury and took injections to play through it, and came back like a week after a devastating ankle injury. We should have kept him out for a month or something.
Yeah.
And then he played through it, and he said his ankle was never the same, and after every single game it ballooned up, but he kept him playing through it. And he said he really regrets that.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course you are. You're going to regret it, and that's the thing. And hopefully, from an English perspective, and obviously for someone like yourself as a Manchester United perspective, Marcus Rashford can maybe learn that. And of course, Chelsea have a lot of injury problems themselves, but they seem to manage them quite well. Rudiger's going to line one up here. Oh my gosh, off the crossbar! Oh my gosh, Antonio Rudiger from about 25 yards has rattled the crossbar. David De Gea looked like he might have been struggling there. If that's an inch or two down, oh my gosh, Antonio Rudiger. That'd have sorted out a few people's fantasy football teams. What a strike that is. Is that a save from David De Gea? I think it is, I think that's a good save from David De Gea. Let's watch it again. Oh, I'm not sure, but I think it is a good save from David De Gea at the end of the day. Rudiger, desperately, desperately unlucky, but Chelsea, they need to start shooting. They do need to start shooting. It's all well and good having this possession, but Chelsea need to start shooting. And Rudiger there, nearly in the most exciting manner, found the back of the net there from 25 yards out. Who'd have thought, with a strike like that on him? The
most concerning thing is how long it can go without any Chelsea defenders in FPL.
Yeah.
But surely your defenders can't keep returning like this.
I honestly, I don't know, because it's the way that we play. We play to have defenders involved. It's like our defenders are actually our attackers, and our attackers are midfielders.
But is that because your attackers have been very useless?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they've not been useless in terms of like creating opportunities. It's just like even Lukaku hasn't been in the form of his life in front of goal. Chelsea with another corner here with Werner and Hudson-Odoi going up the field. But even like Lukaku's not been in the form of his life. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Werner can't score from 5 yards out, but Rudiger can rattle the crossbar from 30. So who knows? Damn the bar. Would have been FPL points racking up, says Oliver. And yeah, that would have been good. I've got Rudiger as well. Going to try and work Reece James into the side so I can have a Trent Alexander-Arnold Reece James combination in defence. That'd be the dream. And Livramento as well. That'd be a good defence. But that's a lovely ball into Ziyech there. Ziyech looks to pull one across. Gone too far, though. Hudson-Odoi, though, is there at the edge of the box. Hudson-Odoi against Wan-Bissaka yet again. Interesting battle, this one. Hudson-Odoi drives one in and cleared off the line. I think that was by Lindelof, who stood in front of the post, did his defensive duties nicely. Chelsea with another corner. Never ending here for Manchester United. What do you reckon United will get in at half-time? Still 0-0, Yusuf?
I'd be happy with it if they do.
Alonso crosses that in, falls to the edge of the box. Here's Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech goes to Werner instead of crossing. Werner pulls it across the box. A bit of a collision there in the box. Thiago Silva's under the second ball. Are they going to get that out? And Nemanja Matic hooks it clear, and Hudson-Odoi returns the play back to Reece James. They seem to be very much under the cosh here, and Yusuf will be very, very happy, I'd imagine, if you get this to 0-0 at half-time. Manu touches inside the opposition box in 30 minutes, according to Max, who is being Jeff Shreves for today. He has apparently, United have had 0 touches inside of the opposition's box, which I think that shows how United were going to set up, don't you think, Yusuf?
Yeah, and so there's always that talk about how United should always be on the front foot and how we should always sort of be playing attack football. But if we're not good at it, don't do it.
Mendy just plays the ball out sloppily there. Sorry, carry on, Yusuf.
No, it's fine. Like, I have no bones with us playing defensive football as long as we just don't get hammered.
Who if you get the results, you can't knock it. Like that's the thing. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be prime Barcelona, does it?
Yeah. And like, going back to the Ralph Ragnick thing, everyone has been hyping over. You know that clip, that interview he did with the coach's voice on YouTube, where he sort of said, as long as the manager has a clear identity, and that's sort of my thinking behind it. As long as there's a clear way of thinking behind why we're doing what we're doing, rather than inconsistent, just sort of, 1 week we'll try and play with the press, 1 week we'll do this, 1 week we'll do this, and it's just nonsense.
Bit of nearly a short ball there. Yeah, I totally agree, because that's the thing. That's the criticism you can have about Lampard, Ole, these managers that are coming in, that they don't sort of play in the same way as they usually seem to, or they seem to chop and change quite significantly. So yeah, I totally agree with that, and maybe United will get a bit of stability. That's a dodgy ball though, and Hudson-Odoi could be in here with an opportunity. Hudson-Odoi saved by David De Gea. Not the greatest of shots there by Hudson-Odoi, but I think that was Bruno Fernandes giving the ball away.
It was, and that's probably Bruno's biggest criticism, and one of the reasons why apparently we didn't sign him earlier than we did, because apparently his pass completion rate was too poor in risky areas. But that's sort of what you do with him. Like, he takes risks.
Yeah, he takes risks. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And but fortunately, Bruno Fernandes over the last season or so has really been the player who can make up for that, fortunately.
But when it doesn't work, it looks really, really bad.
Yeah.
You see that in the games we're struggling.
Yeah, and like that there, giving it away to Hudson-Odoi in a really dangerous area. If that falls to a Lukaku, you've got to think that's in the back of the net. Or someone like a Mo Salah, like you've got to think that is in the back of the net. But Wan-Bissaka here trying to take United out. United need to offer a little bit further forward here. I think so far for Man United, I'd say that this man, Scott McSauce, is their sort of man of the match here. Really, their standout player at the moment.
Not saying that, though, is it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's hard to pick. It's like deciding which of your balls you want to put in a clamp. It's not really what you want to do, to be honest with you. But
Wait, are you trying to say you don't have a favorite testicle, Sam?
Here's Mendy. Launches one long, looking for Ziyech underneath that. Ziyech always seems to have gloves on. I know it is a cold day today, but Ziyech always seems to have gloves on no matter what. It could be 20-degree weather here, and he always seems to have gloves on. Umar saying high risk, high reward. Lovely to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Type of player.
Can I just say, Umar, if you took more risks playing football, maybe you'd be a better player. But yeah, here we are.
That's rich coming from you, Yusuf, who I believe has the combined coordination skills of Bambi and Scooby-Doo running away from ghosts. So that's a lovely ball. Looking forward, though. And Rudiger's done quite well there to header that down to Jorginho.
But Sam, can I just say that I would be a professional footballer if it wasn't for institutional racism?
I knew you were going to say that. I should have had a bet on you saying that at some point during this.
That could have been me out there today.
I mean, if you could play football, maybe. But here's Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka nutmegs Werner there, does really well there and finds Sancho. But that's poor touch from Jadon Sancho. Chelsea going the other way. Ziyech finds Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi tries to drop a shoulder there, but really, really well defended by... Sam's got my back at LMAO. I've always got your back. Don't you worry. McTominay there did really well, actually. I thought he might be a little bit exposed there, but Hudson-Odoi, a little bit indecisive going forward. Chelsea maybe need to freshen things up in the second half. It does look a little bit flat. We do have a halftime game, guys, so do be sure to stick around. We're going to be going for higher or lower today. We're not going to make the return of No Way Jose just yet. I'm going to put a couple of weeks together and get a couple of good guests. Not that Yusuf isn't a good guest, but we're going to get a couple of good guests in a row, and then we can have a few games of No Way Jose, just not a chance to prepare it. But we are going to be playing higher or lower at halftime, so don't click off at halftime. We will have some halftime entertainment for you. And Yusuf, you're going to be trying to work out, it is Premier League appearances. You've got to try to work out who has the most Premier League appearances. So that will be the game for half-time. Fred running himself into trouble here. Ziyech has picked the ball up high, but can't do anything with it there. Falls to Reece James. Reece James wants to shoot. Oh, I wondered which side of the post that was going there. Fred all kinds of problems, causing himself all kinds of problems there, wasn't it? It was like he was attacked. It was a poor first touch in the first place. Then I think it was, I'm not sure who that was chasing him down there. Was that Rudiger chasing him down there? Am I seeing that right? No, it was Chalobah. I thought it was Rudiger. I thought I saw Rudiger's shirt number. It was Chalobah. It was number 40. Fred causing himself all kind of problems, though. Classic Fred, Yusuf?
So I really like Fred as a player, but I just think we need to play to his strengths more. Like, I feel a lot of... So in football in general, by the way, I think a lot of like individual errors aren't necessarily just individual errors. They come from systematic problems. So I think like when you get to this level and you sort of do sign for clubs, like 90% of the time they are solid players. If a lot of players are making repetitive individual mistakes, then you've got to ask questions about systematic setups and whether you're playing them in the right way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And to cost 50 million, there must have been someone in there.
Because I do remember Fred playing for Shakhtar and him being amazing in Champions League games. I think one of the key games that I do remember him is when he played as a single pivot against Manchester City in a game that he played incredibly well.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like you see, like people like Sebastian Haller, people who go to different clubs get played in a different sort of dynamic, if you will, and they go from not being able to score in a West Ham side to scoring his 9 goals in 5 games, the quickest ever player to reach 9 goals. That's a lovely ball over the top, looking for Sancho though, and good save at the end of the day by Mendy. But I definitely think you have got to play to players' strengths to some degree, and I think that's why almost Werner struggled last season, because we played him off that left-hand side and we didn't play the ball over the top. You didn't look for him. But I totally agree, and you can see it all over football players that you bring them in, you expect them to do well in your play style and make him your player. But at the end of the day, sometimes it might not actually be that he is a good player in that position. They might actually suit playing like this differently and better. Umar says, I don't think we play him in the same position as he does for Brazil and Shakhtar. That could be pretty true, to be honest with you. Maybe there's too much pressure on him here, or maybe there's too little pressure on him here. Maybe if you put him in that single pivot, maybe you get the best out of him because he knows he has to perform.
I think there's also something about that wear shit. And there's something about how, if you look at sort of all the players who have left United over the last few years, almost every single one of them does better after they leave. There's very few of them that regress. I mean, even the likes of Matteo Darmian was smashing it in Serie A last year.
Yeah.
Matteo Darmian isn't that good of a player, but even he improved leaving United.
Yeah, that's what you've got to look at as well. And to some degree, Alexis Sanchez, when he's gone to Inter Milan, I know he's nowhere near the player he was when he was at Arsenal, but he's got a bit more confidence about him and he's got a bit more wit about him now. And you do have to wonder whether the pressure of pulling on a Manchester United shirt is what hinders players. If there is too much pressure, especially with, the players of old, when you look at your Nevilles, your Scholes, your Beckhams, your Carricks, even like these players who are, even Carrick is, you would assume in a Manchester United shirt, was significantly better than Fred. And like you've got all these legends of the club, and that is a big pressure to put on a Manchester United player. And some of these players just, quite frankly, aren't cut out for it.
But I think another thing is that players before benefited from stability, whereas now there's been absolutely no stability at the club in anything from managers to executive level to technical to even the youth system, which seems to change every 3 years.
Here's Marcus Rashford into the box. Here is Fred. Is that a foul? Referee says no. And Rudiger's giving a bit of a talking to Fred here and gobbing off. And here comes Marcus Rashford, MBE, of course, to sort everything out.
Yeah, because that was a clear penalty. So
it goes through the legs of... I mean, the thing is, like, I think Fred can carry on running there.
Yeah.
I think he can carry on running there. I think he's felt the contact, gone, the ball's gone too far ahead of me. I'm going to go down.
He's done what I've done when I get too far up the pitch and I'm like, shit, I can't score this.
Just flop on the floor. Even if you're nowhere near the ball, just flop. You the ball's on the left wing, you're on the right wing. Just, I've
got to play to my strengths, really. But
you are Fred. That is.
I have compared myself to Fred quite a lot.
I mean, I mean, you've got the same haircut, you've got the same beard. I mean, it's uncanny. Actually, it's uncanny.
We're actually a fairly similar build as well, so you know.
What, stick thin?
Just tiny.
It seems to be Fred and Rudiger have made friends there, but it does seem to be a few sort of heavy tackles coming in here, and I'm not sure that was a foul. The referee seems to be giving a few away here that maybe aren't. McTominay, I think, a bit hard done by there to get one. You play like him too, says Umar. Definitely. I've not even seen you play, but definitely.
You can imagine me play like that, can't you?
I honestly think, like, I've not seen you play, but I think even with my knee knackered in, I reckon I could give you a good run for your money. I reckon I could dominate you in a midfield battle. That's what. This is when it turns out that you are the Indian reincarnation of Zidane, and I've just been like, you just absolutely just do me in. Reece James looks to whip this free kick in. Oh my gosh, he went all the way through there, and he's got a hand onto it there, David De Gea. He's done well because that came through quite a few bodies there at the end of the day. It came through quite a few bodies, and why is my? There we are. We're back. David De Gea had to keep on his toes here. Chelsea looking to get their noses in front before half time. Marcus Alonso's gone over to take this corner. Whipped in, looking at that front post for Trevor Chalobah, and that's looped up and gone into the roof of the net, and that will be it for the first half. They're practically brothers. Only 1 foot can't shoot from outside the box, but he's everywhere on the pitch. That is Umar's description of you.
Umar, can I just say though, I am definitely much better on my left foot than you are on yours. Like, you know, just like the one thing I can credit myself with, like, I can't run, I can't pass, I have an awful touch, I can't shoot, but I am fairly two-footed with what I can do. So come on, please give me that.
You're as bad on both feet. Anyway, guys, that is half-time, and it is Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. I wouldn't go for like a half-time debrief, but there isn't really that much to debrief and talk about. And the really big talking point is just Rudiger hitting the crossbar, isn't it? That's really it. Why is this game not on NBC Sports in the US? I'm not sure. You would imagine it would be. It is a big game, but make sure you are subscribed, and we'll keep you up to date with everything. And halftime game, ladies and gents, halftime game. So if you haven't played this halftime game before, we are going with higher or lower. Yusuf, do you know what the game is? Do you know how to play?
No, well, you told me a couple of minutes ago, but I have no idea we did a halftime game because I really want a cup of tea. So,
well, maybe you can go for a cup of tea through the middle of it.
It's fine. I'm going to sacrifice my tea to play this game just because I'm so excited.
It is an exciting game, but we do have the halftime game, so it is higher or lower. And easy enough to guess for you guys how to play this. I'm going to give you a player. For example, this is the first one for you. And this is Premier League appearances. So Jamie Vardy has had 253 Premier League appearances. Your job, Yusuf, determine if it's higher, lower, or equal. Does Raheem Sterling have more, equal to, or the same number of Premier League appearances? And we'll wait for the chat as well, when a few of the chat people in the chat can come through as well. But Yusuf, let me know your thoughts. First one going in, what are you thinking?
You could have picked me an easy one to start with because, you know, this is a fairly difficult. Like, you could have given me like Gareth Barry versus Jemba or something, you know, like.
Maybe that would be a hard one. I mean, definitely isn't because Gareth Barry has the most. That's why I stayed away from him.
Yeah, because this is difficult because Jamie Vardy obviously came to the league late. Raheem Sterling started really early. But yeah, I have no idea on this one actually. I have like an inclination, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to tell us. And if you are in the chat as well, be sure to let us know who you think has more. We'll come to Yusuf in a second. Umar is going with Sterling higher. So I guess you would say if you're going higher or lower, Jamie Vardy has less. So lower than Raheem Sterling. So that's what Umar is going. Is that leaning towards your inclination? Are you gonna back Umar?
That was not backing Umar because I do not trust him one bit. But my guess was Sterling as well.
So you are going to go with Sterling. If there's anyone else in the chat, we'll give them a second. But Jamie Vardy 253. How many do you reckon Raheem Sterling is on then? If he's got more than Jamie Vardy,
312 is my guess.
312. Like that's the thing which you've got to weigh up with this one. Jamie Vardy obviously came late, but he has pretty much played every single game for Leicester since he's been in the Premier League. And so that's what you've got to weigh up. And I'll give you a bit of a bonus clue here. Jamie Vardy has the most Premier League appearances for Leicester City. If that throws you off at all.
Oof. I was going to say, my 300 guess is obviously completely wrong, by the way. That was just a number of backed out. I'm thinking, so what, 38 games a season. Raheem Sterling's been playing since he's 18. I've no idea how old he is now, but he definitely doesn't play all 38. Oh, God. Vardy has been sort of uber fit, played every single game. And I'm going to stick with Sterling as my guess.
You're going to stick with Sterling. Yeah. So, Yusuf, I can reveal to you the first round. Oh, Max has just come in. Just as I'm about to reveal it with Vardy going higher. Is that going to throw you off at all? You've got a Sterling vote and a Vardy vote. Is that going to throw you off at all, Yusuf?
No, I'm supremely confident in myself. I couldn't give a crap what these other guys say. Just
Well, there we are. We've heard it here first. So, I can reveal to you, Jamie Vardy has 253, but Raheem Sterling has 301. So, first round, you did get it right. And we're moving on to the next one pretty quickly here. And the next one is Pepe Reina. I'm assuming you know who Pepe Reina is. Are you serious?
Oh, did he play up front for Liverpool once?
Yeah, he did actually. He did. But honestly, like I've said some people sometimes, like this chat didn't know who John Arnorisa was. Like John Arnorisa. He's literally a cult legend. But Raheem Sterling or Pepe Reina?
I'm going to go with Sterling because I can't remember how many years Reina was in the league.
So I'll give you a bit more information on Pepe Reina because for some reason I have quite a lot of knowledge. So Reina left. I actually Googled him the other day because it was for another one because we were doing Guess the Player and Reina was the player. But Pepe Reina left the Premier League in 2013 and joined in 2005.
Oh, wow.
Does that sway you at all? Does that make you think Liverpool's first choice keeper from about 2006 onwards to about 2012? Max saying no. What's this? It's higher or lower, Oliver. So, and it's Premier League appearances. So Sterling has 301. Does Pepe Reina have more or less? What are you going with, Yusuf? Are you sticking with Sterling?
I'm going to stick with Sterling. So there's always something about how you should trust your, be instinctive, and that's all my sort of thing.
That's what you're going with. Umar, what are you going with as well? Just telling Oliver what it is. Oliver's going with Sterling as well. Max has gone with Reina. And I know him from loan at Villa, 1920 season. I did forget about that, actually. There was also a loan at Aston Villa as well.
Because he was awful.
Yeah, he wasn't great, was he? But he has played for some good teams. He's played for Bayern Munich as well. And Umar is going with Raheem Sterling as well. So I can reveal to you, Yusuf, you are Raheem Sterling 2-0 because Pepe Reina has 297 appearances for Liverpool and Villa.
It's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, it is a mighty low. That's why I went for that, because I thought it might throw you off a little bit. I thought you were going to go for more Raheem Sterling. He's a bit younger, whereas Reina was around for a long, long time in the Premier League. But the next one, speaking of being around for a long, long time in the Premier League, Ashley Cole. Considering the highest so far we've had is Raheem Sterling for 301 appearances. Has Ashley Cole, I guess what you're looking at is, has Ashley Cole then made more than Raheem Sterling? Because if Pepe Reina had less, maybe you'd be inclined to say he's had less. But what do you think? Has he had more than Pepe Reina or less, or what? I think
this surely has to be Ashley Cole. If this isn't Ashley Cole, then I've got to rethink my entire knowledge of football. That's just like...
Let's see what the chat is going with. Yusuf backing Ashley Cole. Rayner had a really good game versus Tottenham. Of course, Max knows that as a Tottenham fan. I know it was close, but bloody hell, it was, wasn't it, Umar? Very, very close. Ashley Cole, surely. Max is having a bad start. Definitely Ashley. Max, have you got your answer for this one? Yeah, I think you're 0 for 2 here, Max. So you need to redeem yourself slightly. Yusuf, if you had to guess, how many do you reckon Ashley Cole's on?
Oh, you see, the thing is, I've no frame of reference right now. So
your frame of reference is Raheem Sterling, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go for the 500s, somewhere in the 500s.
500. Wow, he's going big. He's going big. Let's see if Max has put anything in the chat. No, I will reveal it to you. So, Yusuf, I can confirm that you are now 3-0 with Ashley Cole on 385.
So what is Gareth Barry on? Because that can be my frame of reference. Because I have no idea. Is he
Gareth Barry's on the most, and he's on like 650.
God, all right. So I thought Ashley Cole would have had a lot more than 385 if Gareth Barry wasn't like.
Yeah,
he played his entire career in the Prem, pretty much.
Yeah, but I guess he was only there for like 10 years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sort of 2003 with Arsenal, 2002 with Arsenal, then left in about 2013 to go to Roma, and then LA Galaxy. But the next one is Ashley Cole or Ashley Young. Which Ashley are you backing for this one?
You see, I do love Ashley Young. I thought he was one of the best players in the world when he was at Villa. I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah.
Deluded.
Yeah, Ashley Young. I thought he should have been playing every week for United, even towards the end. He was amazing. He benched Di Maria, of course, which was, just standard really, because I'd put him ahead of him easily.
And then played left back.
Yeah, again, versatility. He's got another thing going for him. Ashley Cole only played left back. Ashley Young played midfield, up front, left wing, right wing. But I think Ashley Cole has more. I don't know.
What are you going with?
I'm going to go for Ashley Cole. Yeah.
Ashley Cole, going with Ashley Cole again. On the last one, Max put Cole. I mean, you were too late on that one, Max. You were too late. Hey, I've put something in the chat. Max being rejected. Umar has gone against you. He has gone. Ashley Young has to win. Of course, he's a currently active player as well, Ashley Young, in the Premier League.
Umar knows my love for Ashley Young, and I think that's rubbed off on him.
Maybe. And Oliver going with Ashley Young. Max is going with Cole. I think this one is Ashley. Clever. I like what you did there, Max. And then Ashley has more, in my opinion. Right, we'll move on. So, Yusuf, you were 3-0. You are now 4-0 as Ashley Young by 7 appearances. 8 appearances, if I can count. 8 appearances less than Ashley Cole. Maybe I've made this too easy for you, Yusuf. You're absolutely blasting through these. But we move on from one former United player to another with Phil Neville, who spent quite a substantial chunk of his career at Manchester United, but then also spent it at Everton as well. So, higher or lower, Phil Neville, Premier League appearances?
So the thing about Phil Neville is, again, he's been around forever, but he was a bit crap when he was, comparatively, he was more of a rotation player at United, but then he's had a long stint at Everton as well. But then, Phil Neville, he played forever. He was there for God knows how long. And because of his versatility, he did play everywhere for United.
Yeah.
And then he played right back, left back, right mid, left mid, and centre mid for United. So I'm going Phil Neville just on longevity.
You're going Phil Neville on longevity, but I'm just going to chuck this out there. Ashley Young. Think about Ashley Young though. How long has he played in the Premier League? He started off as an attacking midfielder.
So the thing about Ashley Young that's swayed me a little bit, putting me off of him, is because at United, there was a few years when he was on the bench, which he shouldn't have been because of how good he was. We all know that. But, sadly, he was on the bench. Whereas Phil Neville was consistently consistently playing, although maybe not as many games per season. So this is probably the toughest one you've given me so far, actually.
Toughest one I've given you so far.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what everyone else is going with. Max is going with Ashley Young easily. Umar is going, yeah, I think Young too. Oh, difficult.
I've already said how little value I place in members of the public. So
don't forget as well, guys, it could be even. It could be the off chance. It could be that they're both on the same. And maybe that could happen. But yeah, I think it's Young too. Oh, gosh. Right, I'll unveil it to you. This is for you to go 5-0. This is going to be a very, very impressive start if this is correct, Yusuf. How confident are you feeling?
not very. I'm about as confident as I am in United winning this game. So yeah.
So here we are. Ashley Young, 337, or Phil Neville. I can reveal to you, Yusuf. Oh, hang on. Oliver has gone with Neville as well. Phil Neville was on 505 Premier League appearances for Manchester United and Everton. We do have a time for one more. The players are coming back out onto the pitch. So this final one for you, Yusuf.
All right, I'm going to be quick then. I'm just going to go Rio, just because Rio played forever and he was a consistent starter for most of his time there.
Yep. You're going with Rio Ferdinand. So I did actually have one more after this, but unless you want to just blast through them.
Yeah, we can do it quick because I'm sure nothing will happen in the game.
Yep, pretty much. So you're going with Rio higher,
yeah.
Yusuf. You've got your first one wrong. It is 504.
Oh,
one appearance in it between the two of them. One appearance in it. And then the final one, which you have on your screen, which is another close one, which I made sure to make like the final few really difficult because I was like, I think you're going to cruise through a few of them. But what are you going with? Ferdinand?
Going even, just because you keep mentioning they could be even.
You've got me. It's Stevie G. 504. So yeah, and Umar was correct as well. One off LMAO. I know, very, very close, but we are now in the second half. Let me update the... Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that. I meant to get rid of the other banner that's on the screen right now. Where's that gone? We are in the second half. We are all kicked off. I'm going to nip for Umar's bragging because he called it. Yes, you did. Am I that predictable? You guys... Oh, I'm that predictable already.
It's because you watch too many crappy game shows on TV, Sam.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of.
Yeah. Chat, Yusuf didn't know what the chase was. And I think you guys need to lay into him because that is a crime against being English. And so I think you guys need to lay into him for that one because that is awful. I don't think you can ever come back from that, if I'm honest with you, Yusuf.
I still don't know where it is.
Yusuf, you're just going to have to sit down and watch the chase. You're going to have to.
The game might be more useful.
Just play higher or lower all the time.
Mm.
Right, 46 minutes on the clock. I think I'm going to pop for a wee really quickly. So, Yusuf, you're going to have to take the reins for a moment or two.
God, scored.
Yeah, all right. And Umar even says, "Oh my God, the chase is sick, man." So I'm gonna pop to the toilet. I'll be back in a second. I'll leave you in the more than capable hands of Yusuf. I will be back in 2 seconds.
Can I have the chat like abuse you while you're gone?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you fancy. I mean,
so if the chat can just be honest about Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Not like I can see it when I come back. I'm not even gone yet. I was literally just setting up my phone. Right, I'm off for a wee. I'll be back in a sec. Max has got to go as well. See you in a bit. And Oliver says prank him. I don't know how you intend to do that, to be honest with you, Oliver. But I don't quite know. They tried to do this last time, and like they all coordinated it that they would say that there was a goal, even though I had it on my screen. Ziyech here with a bit of an advanced position, rolls it into Werner. Werner shot blocked. Yusuf, I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to leave it up to you. Right, I'll be back in 2. And I am back. Right.
You were far too quick, and that was concerning.
I only went for a wee, and my thing's under there, isn't it? You're slightly ahead of me, so I'm watching the game with earlier commentary from you guys. Nice one, Umar. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Reece James with a free kick. Are we still synced up, by the way, Yusuf?
I think I'm slightly ahead of you, just slightly.
Reece James whips that one in, looking for the head of Thiago Silva. I think that was under there, but United looking to get it clear here. Fred launches up the ball, up the field there from Bruno. And Jorginho with a dodgy touch runs through Sancho. Sancho and Rashford. Surely this is a goal for Manchester United. And it is 1-0. Oh, my God.
Easy.
On the counter-attack, Jorginho, the Ballon d'Or nominee himself, makes the mistake. Oh, my gosh.
So I think Fred is probably ahead of Jorginho in the Ballon d'Or stakes, personally, but...
Oh, no. Jorginho, man.
So when do you update the little score thing? Can I do that? Or was that?
I'm doing it now, so.
Does it hurt you to do it?
Unfortunately, yes, and because it's clean sheet points as well. But let's watch this again. Jorginho underneath it. He just judges it wrong. But Chelsea shouldn't be leaving one man at the back. They shouldn't be leaving one man at the back there. I'm sorry, but why? Why would you leave Jorginho all by himself? That's just the problem.
When you're as good as Ballon d'Or winner Jorginho, you can leave him on his own. That's good, yeah.
He's not Ballon d'Or winner yet, not quite.
Okay.
Well, that is Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. And this is what I was speaking about. Like I was speaking about in my, I put a TikTok up earlier from the game on Wednesday talking about Chelsea this weekend, and I said anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is still Manchester United. You have to bear that in mind. And Jorginho, with the most god-awful touch in the world, shame he wasn't Jeremy Lynch, because he would have been able to actually bring that one down. And then he'd have been the best player on the ball in Arsenal's academy and first team in 2004. But I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Yusuf, I'm going to let you speak for a little while now.
Well, I was just really enjoying listening to you speak, Sam, because I think just, yeah.
It'll come to fruition. It'll come to fruition. Is that Sancho who scored that as well, by the way?
It was Sancho. Oh, I was saying that. Oh, look, why was Sancho shooting from there? Like, I know he scored, but I mean, surely the...
Yeah, I thought, like, when he shot, instead of rolled it to Rashford, I thought, maybe we've got away with one here. But Mendy dived the wrong way anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I think he sort of did him with the fake a little.
That touch was shocking, exactly. Yeah, I think he did do him with a fakie a little bit, but oh my gosh, Chelsea, a huge second half now, because Chelsea had opportunities in the first half. The thing is, this is what my frustration is around this Chelsea team is we keep the ball a lot, we create half opportunities, but we never create these massive clear-cut opportunities. And then when we do, we have the likes of Werner and players like that who just don't take them. And there's a reason why Reece James is our top goal scorer this season. It's because he's the only guy who actually takes a shot and he actually has confidence to take a shot. And honestly, like, why have we left? Just watching this replay again, why have we left Jorginho all by himself? That is a schoolboy error. Do you think
it was one of those things where you thought we have all 11 men back?
Maybe, but I wouldn't ever leave one man at the back. That is schoolboy stuff. Like I say, schoolboy stuff. And United now have their tails up, and could be really on their way here. United. Reece James gets himself a yellow card for a foul on the ball.
So the thing is, I'm still not sure we've been that good other than that little one counter. I still think you're the much better team, and it'd be interesting if anyone has like the XG stats. If you know, let's find it. Where it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain the expected goals for Chelsea will be pretty poor, I would imagine. shots on target for Chelsea. Chelsea have had 4 shots on target so far. That was United's first shot on target, if that helps. So I'm guessing that United's XG is just 1, and Chelsea's is maybe Hudson-Odoi. Maybe should he have scored? I don't know. I really don't know. And Chelsea are looking down the barrel of a poor defeat here, especially after big wins against Leicester and Juventus the last 2 times out. Especially, lol, Sam is so sad. I am sad because Chelsea, they shouldn't be in this position. They shouldn't. That should not happen whatsoever.
Ooh.
Oh, my stream just lagged, so I'm going to have to refresh. Otherwise, I won't be on the same time as you. Why, when I type in H, does the first search Huang Yi-Chan? No, we haven't been good. To be honest with you, I don't think Chelsea were ever going to run away with the league, if I'm brutally honest with you. I think that's the thing. Chelsea aren't going to run away with the league. I think it's always going to be close. I think Chelsea are always beatable. Always beatable. Right, I'm on 54 minutes, 25 seconds, Yusuf. Is that any close to you?
54:29.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty close then. We might be bang on, to be fair. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, all of that jazz. And make sure as well, if you do like Yusuf as well, make sure to go and follow him or whatever he fancies sharing with you guys. I don't know. Yeah, I'm honestly gutted here, but that's a lovely ball from Ziyech. Ziyech into Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, my screen's froze. Why?
Shall I video call you and just get there?
I can just see like the ball between. Oh, here we go. I've got the replay now, and that's an awful ball from Loftus-Cheek. And Chelsea have got a corner from it, though. My screen just literally froze there, which wasn't fantastic. Not what you want in your sandwiches. Here we go. Marcus Alonso whips one in there, looking for the head of, I think that was Thiago Silva at the front post again. And Marcus Rashford has conceded a corner again by the looks of things. I don't know why everything's lagging for me now, but I'm not very pleased with this. Marcus Alonso going out to take another corner here. Chelsea, the thing is, Chelsea do have United on the ropes, but United, they could just counter-attack again from another one of these corners. But I don't think Chelsea will make that same mistake yet again from a corner. I'm just waiting for my stream to load back up again because this is really irritating. And United nearly got themselves through again there, Yusuf.
It's just the counter. So
that's all it is. Fred, oh my gosh. Rashford switched on there at the back post. I think that's 2-0, if Rashford switched on there at the back post.
I think the hardest thing you can teach is off-ball movement.
Yeah.
And I worry that a lot of players never really developed it. So remember when Rashford was playing up front and he was scoring and then we shut him out wide? And then even Martial played out wide. And then we have Greenwood, who I think could be a really good striker, but then plays out wide. You never really develop those movement skills. Yeah.
That is part of what you need for a striker, isn't it, really? It's part of the play you need to create yourself. And unfortunately, especially, I still think Ronaldo was a panic buy. I really do. I think Ronaldo was a panic signing. But United are having to defend quite a bit here if I can actually get a stream that actually works. And Werner's got his hands on his head, so let's just skip forward. Yusuf, what happened there?
The ball dropped him in the box from the corner, and he sort of sliced it wide.
Oh, classic Timo Werner. Classic Timo Werner. Yeah, he's in the box. And, I mean, I don't know why. I think I would have hit that with my left foot if that was me personally. He's gone to almost outside the foot, that, hasn't he? And it's just slightly gone wide, just slightly. And, I mean, it's not a clear cut. It's not a bad miss from Timo Werner, but he should be finding the target. We can see Romelu Lukaku's eyes there peering out of his coat. What is going through that man's head? He must surely want to be coming on soon, Romelu Lukaku.
Oh, wait, is he fit?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's why.
Shows my prep for this.
I think he is, yeah. Romelu Lukaku, yeah, he's on the bench. We've got Chelsea, have got Aspilicueta, Christensen, Barkley, Saul, whose last name I'm not even going to try and pronounce, Mason Mount, Lukaku, Christian Pulisic, and Kai Havertz all on the bench were United with, other than goalkeepers, Jones, Dalot, Juan Mata, Lingard, Van der Beek, Mason Greenwood, Martial, and of course the great man Cristiano Ronaldo. So Chelsea, I mean, you look at the benches, and the benches look actually quite strong for both teams.
Well, I think for United, it's just the Ronaldo bit.
I mean, I'd still want to have Jesse Lingard coming off the bench. I still think he's a very good player. And that's a lovely turn there from Marcus Rashford. And Trevor Chalobah has been absolutely done in there.
Oh, God, you are ahead of me.
Oh, I'm ahead of you now. I don't know how that happened. Trevor Chalobah has been absolutely done in there. A lovely turn and giving away a foul there. 58 minutes 45 on the clock. I think I must be like 2 seconds ahead of you now.
Yeah. It's fine because when United score again, I can see your tears before the goal.
Honestly, I get so frustrated when Chelsea concede. Ronaldo is stripping down, and for the female viewers, he's just throwing his jumper. But he is going to be coming on the pitch. And that's a lovely ball from Reece James to find Werner. Werner has Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech up with him. Rolls instead to Ziyech. Ziyech has a bit of room here. Is he going to get a shot off? No, because he's the most clumsy player on the planet and gives the ball away to Bruno Fernandes. And United might be able to go again here with Jadon Sancho, but Rudiger turns on the afterburners there and gets away from him. Let us know your thoughts on the game so far. United currently beating Chelsea 1-0. The thing is, you look at Chelsea and the two sides they'll have lost to if they lose this game is Manchester United and Manchester City. And whereas that isn't good to lose to your rivals, it's also not like they've lost to Watford by 4.
Yeah, but United also lost to Watford.
Yeah. So that's what I mean though. But in terms of a title race, you're not dropping points against teams lower. And provided you don't do that, you can, everyone else will be dropping points everywhere else. So
I feel as though United are a team that you have to beat because of how bad we've been, and we really haven't improved as much yet.
Yeah. Marcus Alonso out
all
there.
the big teams have beaten us.
Oh, headed clear. Falls to Ziyech at the edge of the box. United might be able to counter-attack again here, and it looks like they're going to. And they've unleashed Marcus Rashford, who's being marked closely by Hudson-Odoi. Rashford versus Hudson-Odoi here. Trevor Chalobah's getting back in as well, and Chalobah's done really well actually there. Rashford got his legs a little bit in a pickle there, and unfortunately...
But it was really smart defending from Chalobah, because sort of instinctively, as a defender, you sort of want to fill the gap a little.
Yeah.
And he did it sort of to perfection by cutting off that avenue.
Yeah, he knew where Rashford was going to go, didn't he? And Ziyech has definitely given away a foul there on Bruno Fernandes. Come on, Chelsea! And that, to make matters worse for you, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be entering the frame of things here. And I think, to be honest, that could be what United need, because then I think they'll look long. They'll look for Ronaldo. Fraser's open for a Manchester United win. Of course you are. But as a Liverpool fan, Fraser, I'm not sure you ever want to say that to people in public. I'm not sure you ever want to say that. I'm just surprised that we've not seen Lukaku or Mount or Pulisic or Havertz warming up at the moment.
I was going to say, my concern is the midfield's come away with you a bit, whereas in the first half you had concerted possession and concerted pressure, and you haven't had that as much in this half. And to rectify that, you do usually make a change in midfield.
Yeah, it's amazing how football will determine how your weekend goes, and that's a lovely ball there to find Loftus-Cheek in ample space. Loftus-Cheek tries to move his big long legs out of the way and gets himself a little bit in a pickle there. Ziyech looks to whip one in, and that's good defending there. I believe that was Nemanja Matic there with a good little bit of defending, chest control, calm defending, and that's what Manchester United need. That's what they need, especially when they don't have Maguire, who usually is a calm head at the back. Number one, I don't want Chelsea running away with the league. I don't think running away with the league is in a Chelsea option at the moment, because Liverpool and Manchester City are both on fire. So I don't think they can run away with the league. We've dropped points against Manchester City and we've dropped points against Liverpool. So it's more Liverpool needing to play well and not Chelsea running away with the league, if you know what I mean. Chelsea have just been consistent until today. There's Reece James out wide, pulled across. Oh, Werner's in there. And United are defending for their lives. Absolutely defending for their lives, looking to cling on to everything. They've got all 3 points if they carry on like this, though. And United are really, really clinging on. And I'm getting frustrated. I'm personally getting frustrated here. Chelsea have had 10 corners. That is the stat. 10 corners. Alonso whips in another one, but it's cleared again. These corners needs to be better. Pick out a man. Do something with them.
Corners are generally a very inefficient way to score, though.
Yeah, but for Chelsea, they seem to be a very efficient way to score. We've had Zuma scoring loads of goals last season. We've had the likes of Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Chalobah. They've all scored goals this season.
Yeah, and everyone scores corners against us as well, so you really should be doing better. But I think, generally, it may just be like regression to the norm in terms of probability for scoring from corners.
Yeah, and here comes the goal scorer, Marcus Rashford. Jadon Sancho is coming off, so Ronaldo will join Marcus Rashford, is what I was going to say until I got the names muddled up. He's going to join Marcus Rashford up top, and it might go to more of a 4-3-3 here. We'll wait and see. And Fraser doesn't think Man United will make top 4. Oof.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because we're winning the Champions League, so Premier League
just the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have missed the Champions League, don't you? Ziyech there battling hard against the big defender of Matic, but Matic does incredibly well there. And that's a lovely turn, and Bruno's done a lovely ball. United really growing into this game, but that's a great tackle there from Marcus Alonso. And he's won himself a foul. But yeah, United look like they're growing into it, don't they, Yusuf?
You say that, but it feels like Chelsea for the last few minutes have done quite a bit better compared to sort of being rocked a little after the goal.
Yeah, but I don't think they have. Rudiger driving out here, rolls it to Alonso, and that'll sum it up for you. That was a dodgy pass. Alonso does really well to keep that on there. I think Rudiger's got the corner flag to thank for that. Otherwise, it'd have been a fantastic. Otherwise, it'd have been a really, really poor ball instead of a fantastic, lovely bit of defending by the corner flag. Manchester United ain't winning the Champions League. Are you joking? He is joking. Fortunately, he is joking, Fraser. Chelsea have another free kick. What's more likely, Yusuf? Chelsea to retain their Champions League or United to win the Champions League?
God. You see, I think it is a cup competition, but inherently cup competition.
Reece James with a free kick there, crossed in. I think it was flicked off the head of Thiago Silva, just whipped across the box there. And so close. I think it's actually good defending at the front post there from, I think it was the big man Ronaldo. This needs to be a better corner ball in, though, from Marcus Alonso and actually pick out someone's head rather than just the general area. Here we go. Marcus Alonso. And that's gone behind for again, defended easily. Chelsea are nearly on 13 corners here. I think that's how many they are on. This is so frustrating from a Chelsea perspective. And they should be doing much, much better here, Chelsea. I think that was Bruno Fernandes who won it at the front post. Was it? Let's see. It is Bruno Fernandes who won it at the front post. Chelsea, all you have to do is get it into the box. Then someone can at least attempt to attack it. Don't do that. Don't just pull it back to everyone. And
wait, what's going on?
It's a penalty! Oh my God, it's a penalty! Oh my gosh, it's a penalty for a foul on Thiago Silva, I believe it was. That looked like there was contact, but I did think there was enough in it for a penalty. Let's have another look there. So as the ball's getting cleared, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he puts his leg out and kicks the back of Thiago Silva as he's trying to clear the ball. Yusuf, thoughts?
Clumsy, very clumsy.
Is it a penalty, though? Because I don't think it is.
I have no idea what the ball was.
The ball had dropped in front of him, and Thiago Silva got his foot to it and hit it, and then Wan-Bissaka hit him. But
so I'm always sort of punish clumsiness, and you should a clumsy defender shouldn't give the referee the decision to make. Yeah, he's always gonna. So that's why I'd lean towards that being a penalty.
And to be honest with you, I think Umar has a point here. I do think Umar has a bit of a point here, but the thing is, that's how you've got to win penalties in this modern era, and it shouldn't be like that. But you look at the likes of Phil Foden, never goes down, and then doesn't win the penalties for it. And Chelsea have a massive opportunity here. Who's going to take this? Jorginho? Is that Jorginho? Please don't tell me that's Werner, because that looks like Werner from here. I can't even tell who it is. I couldn't tell who that is because it is Jorginho. Oh my God. Come on, Jorginho. This is his chance to make up for that earlier error, which led to the Manchester United goal. 68 minutes on the clock. Jorginho versus David De Gea. We have seen Jorginho miss penalties in recent times. Is this going to be another missed penalty for Jorginho, or will he get Chelsea level? And he really needs to. Jorginho steps up and he puts it in. It's 1-1. Get in, Jorginho. Come on. Come on. Get in. And that is Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the mud. Get him off my screen. Get it off my screen. Oliver says he missed. No, he didn't. There's no doubt when Jorginho steps up. I think it was a light one, to be honest. But it is, like you say, Yusuf, it's clumsy. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts in general?
Just general, yeah.
You probably deserve that. That was there is something about, even dodgy penalty decisions, which I don't think that was, they generally do match the run of play.
Mm. And that definitely was coming, and it has been coming for a little while here. And hopefully for me, Chelsea can put on a bit of a show now. And Ziyech is driving forward, has Reece James out wide with him. Reece James, is he going to pull one in? He pulls one back, looking there towards Timo Werner, I believe that was, in the box. And Chelsea look like they've got their tails back up again. They look like they're wagging their little tails again and look like they could be really, really on for a fiery finish to this game. And Chelsea have, once again, another corner. United now have to defend like mad. Alonso whips it in. Cleared at the front post again. Another poor corner, though. I think that's Jorginho trying to get himself in there. And United always have that counter-attack on, though, from the corners. Always have a counter-attacking option on there. And Chelsea trying to just grow themselves into this game, get themselves back in, get themselves ahead as they potentially deserve to be. Chelsea yet to make a substitution, don't forget. And hopefully Chelsea can make it sooner rather than later because, they need to. They do need to. Here's Timo Werner. Werner up against McTominay. McTominay rolls it into... defends quite nicely, actually, there. I thought he was going to lose the ball there, Scott McTominay. And seems to be a little bit of everything going on. A bit high-spirited here. A few heavy tackles in the sort of last couple of seconds. Kind of making me question if we're going to get a bit of a rough and tumble here. Finn Media Production says, give Pulisic some minutes. The guy makes things happen and he scores goals. He most certainly does, Finn. He most certainly does. I think we had Pulisic at his best during the Project Restart, like we did with Marcus Rashford. I say we, like Yusuf did, with Marcus Rashford. And during Project Restart, Pulisic was untouchable, and we haven't seen that, and we need him to get minutes now, and we need him to find that form because I think he could be vital. That's a lovely ball from Ziyech over the top to Turbo. Turbo Werner pulls it back. Is Marcus Alonso going to get on that? Rolls it back. Here's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek shoots, blocked by Wan-Bissaka. Jorginho goes wider, rolls it into Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi to Reece James, falls to Ziyech. Oh, and he spanned it wide. Oh my gosh. No doubt when Jorginho steps up literally 5 seconds earlier, he has missed some. I mean, there isn't any doubt, though. That's the thing. He has missed some, but you never doubt it. Even when he missed the one against England, no one doubted the fact that Jorginho was going to miss a penalty. And then he did.
I remember watching it thinking that was it. It was over.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, well, it's Jorginho. And then everyone was absolutely mind blown when
Lingard's getting stripped off.
The dream. Jesse Lingard coming on. And it looks like Donny van der Beek is also coming on. Weird that Chelsea yet to make a substitution. I'm quite surprised about that. But maybe with Chelsea with their tails up, maybe Tuchel fancies his chances here. We are 72 minutes on the clock. And if they are going to make a sub and it's going to be an impact sub, you'd think they were going to make one now. You'd think you'd see like a Mason Mount or a Christian Pulisic or even a Kai Havertz. But do we have 5 substitutions now in the Premier League?
No, the Premier League was pretty much the only big league to not adopt the rule because we're idiots.
Surprisingly. I guess
a lot of the lower league, the lower clubs were against it because they said we don't have as much squad depth as the bigger clubs, and it spots them, which is actually an understandable statement. So I shouldn't call us idiots, but yeah.
It is understandable. It is, but also in the same, like you like change half of your team, and that seems mental. Like you can change half of your team.
I think it does appear like it's here to stay, which is a weird thing.
Yeah, it definitely does. Fred driving into some space here, goes out to Cristiano Ronaldo. All I want for Christmas is Sue. Into Fred, and that's cleared at the front post there by Thiago Silva. If Ronaldo scores, are you going to do your best, Sue, Yusuf?
That's debating.
What?
I'm not that sort. I'm a very sort of reserved person in general, you know.
Yeah, and Ronaldo will have scored and won you the game. You already said your nephew does it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have it catching on.
Oh my gosh, Hudson-Odoi, and I think that was Thiago Silva getting in each other's way there as they try to clear the ball. 75 minutes on the clock.
So I'm obviously all celebrations just be the classic Shearer, one finger up, running around. Yeah.
Michael Carrick, imagine having that hairline at his age. Imagine. Stuff of dreams. Loftus-Cheek trying something fancy there. Fortunately, he's bigger than Ronaldo, so he can jump higher, apparently.
I think really good bald footballers around still.
Pablo Zabaleta. John Joe Shelvey. Don't you ever slander John Joe Shelvey again.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, before, like, bald people, we had Zidane. Like, you know, we were like...
he says with a full mop of hair.
That's going. So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm thinking, who do we have to sort of, like, inspire us now?
Ashley Young.
So Ashley Young is bald by choice.
Yeah, he is. Here's Rudiger, another bald man. Rolls it into Jorginho, the man with, honestly, one of the best haircuts on the planet, Jorginho. Someone said I look like him, and I was really offended because I didn't like Jorginho when he first played for Chelsea. Hudson-Odoi. Alonso whips it in, looking for Werner in here. Chelsea needs some subs. If they're going to win this, they need some subs. They need Lukaku on, they need Mount on, and they need Pulisic on. They need something to change. What
time are you on?
75, 51, 52, 53.
I think I'm like 10 seconds ahead.
I know. Oh, that looked a little bit clumsy there from, I don't even know who that was. Was that Bruno Fernandes? Only scores penalties. It was a little bit clumsy there from Bruno Fernandes, but he had to overcommit. That's the problem with that. He did have to overcommit there because his first touch wasn't great to get away from Rudiger. Bruno Fernandes does find himself in the book, though, guys. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to smash that like button for us. Can we get ourselves to 15 likes on this stream? Jay Lings is coming on. How do you do the Jesse Lingard thing? Is it that? Jay Lings is coming on.
No idea.
Yusuf, don't pretend to be cool.
Surely that's the opposite of being cool. I have no idea about any of these.
Jay Lings is coming on for Marcus Rashford. I'm going to have to refresh my thing again because it, for some reason, just froze. Oh, no, I'm even further behind than I was. Oh, God.
It's a real shame about these completely legitimate legal streams that they keep doing this.
Yeah. It really is. Right, I'm just going to stay where I am. And here comes some Chelsea changes as well. Christian Pulisic and my boy Mason Mount, who's on the back of the shirt, both coming on as well for Chelsea. Chalobah into Pulisic. I forgot Pulisic had number 10. Mount back into Pulisic. I think I've re-caught back up again, Yusuf.
Cool. What is concerning is this reduces the odds of us seeing Phil Jones come on the pitch today.
Imagine if we'd have seen him. Pulisic, good touch there to get away from Fred. Into, oh my gosh, this might fall for Werner. Werner! Oh no! Pulisic, what have you done there? It's pinball in the box. Chelsea get another shot off. Oh my gosh, how did that now fall to Christian Pulisic from Werner there? What on earth happened there? That was complete chaos. Ziyech does really well. And oh my gosh, Wan-Bissaka with some vital defending for Manchester United there. Vital defending. Werner was about to unleash the beast. And Wan-Bissaka does really well. What's happened to Mount this year? He's just been injured, to be honest with you. He's been injured. He's played 8 games this season for Chelsea. Scored 4 goals, so he's not been out of form. He's just been sort of out of the team a little bit because he's been injured. I think he had his wisdom teeth removed as well. And then I think he got COVID as well. So he had a bit of a tough few weeks, but he is back now. And hopefully he'll be back in the side.
So Sam, can you do your best impression of Mount on local anesthetic having his wisdom teeth taken out? Because it was a viral video.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
If Chelsea win, you should do it. If Mount scores...
No, I'll do that, the Mason Mount celebration, which he did for Chunks. I'll do that. 80 minutes on the clock. I'll have to push you as well, Yusuf, for a man of the match in a little while. Whether we can actually come up with one is a different thing. That's a lovely ball looking forward. Good touch from Mason Mount. Mount rolls it into Ziyech. Ziyech, is he going to do something with that right foot? Oh, shoots straight into the hands of David De Gea, though. Easy for the Manchester United goalkeeper. You got to get up pretty early to get past David De Gea, and it's got to be a better shot than that. And better from Ziyech, though. Much better from Ziyech. He's beaten his player and gone past him. Oliver's just put Romelu, so I think we'll be seeing the introduction of Romelu, the Belgian striker, Romelu. Chelsea definitely need to, at minimum, get a draw from this, but anything less than 3 points is a defeat for me. It really is. We should be winning. We should be winning this game. And Romelu is making his way back after picking up an injury in the third round games of the Champions League against Malmo. Him and Werner both picked up injuries. Be intrigued to see if we go to Reece James is in centre mid. Jorginho was the man who came off there. Reece James in centre mid. Be weird to see what formation we're going with here. That's a ball whipped in there, looking for Pulisic. Pulisic, good touch. Very, very good touch from Christian Pulisic. Has Reece James at the edge of the box. Looks to whip it in instead, looking for Werner. Falls to Jorginho. Jorginho's still on the pitch. Who got subbed off? What? Who got subbed off? Marcus Alonso came off for Mount. Werner is about to come off for Lukaku. And Hudson-Odoi for Pulisic. Romelu Lukaku getting his introduction, and Oliver is singing it for us here. The Belgian striker Romelu. Here he comes. He's got 8 minutes. 8 minutes to get himself a goal. Romelu Lukaku, just over 8 minutes. Can he do it, ladies and gents? Can he do it? Yusuf, how are you feeling? How are your nerves?
Remarkably calm, because if you remember, I expected it to be absolutely smashed. So just getting this far is great, really. This is amazing, yeah.
Imagine saying that to a United fan 10 years ago, that you'd be happy about not getting smashed. Oh God!
I mean, you got to face the reality. There's no point being that deluded.
Fair enough. Chelsea still with a 3 at the back. I think what's happened is Pulisic is almost playing wing back. Oh, that's a dodgy ball from Chalobah, though, to give it away to Fred. Here's Bruno Fernandes, but nicely blocked by a tag team duo of Pulisic and Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek needs to get us forward quickly here. Mount, poor ball into Mount, but Mount's managed to give the ball to Pulisic. Here's Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech has Reece James wider, decides to use Reece James. Ziyech continues his run. Here's Jorginho, finds Loftus-Cheek. Cheek finds Chalobah into Pulisic, back into Chalobah, back into Pulisic. Chelsea taking their time, but they haven't got much time left. Have not got much time left whatsoever. And Umar saying we've also got the player who always finds a way to score. If that's Fred, then yes, you
All my jokes, Sam. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And Ronaldo is on. Yes, Oliver, he has just come on sort of 20 minutes ago. But Chelsea have another corner here. How many corners is that for Chelsea now? How many corners is that? 6 shots on target for Chelsea. How many corners? I can't even see it now. Corner whipped in there by Alonso and headed over that time by Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh, he couldn't have done that there.
14 corners. 14 corners. How does this make the table look? Oh, Chelsea only go 1 point clear if this happens.
Oh, hit his shoulder.
The Fred love is catching on, and I know Yusuf is happy.
Much appreciated.
Fred love is catching on. Oliver, how many likes are we on the stream? If you haven't already, smash that like button for us or hit subscribe. Be sure to do that for us, and we'll keep you up to date with the final exchanges of this game. That's a lovely ball. Was it a lovely ball? No, not at the end of it. Lukaku trying to spin his player there. Maybe should have taken the touch with his back to the man rather than trying to let it run. And Pulisic has ended up playing the ball out of play. 5 minutes left on the clock. Yusuf, we've got 5 minutes left. This is about usually the time that you give a man of the match. So, Yusuf, I'm going to ask you for yours.
No matter how much I want to say Fred, I'd probably give it to De Gea. Just a few important saves, always been reliable, and he's had a lot to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he's been really good, but that's a lovely ball in. Oh, just slightly over the top. We need Romelu Lukaku and Ziyech to be closer together. I mean, as much as I want to give it to Mason Mount, I know he's only just come on, so I'm not sure I can really justify giving it to Mason Mount. Chelsea-wise, who has really been that good? I think Hudson-Odoi's been okay. He's looked good in glimpses. Ziyech has been okay. Reece James has probably been one of the standouts, but I think McTominay's been good as well for United. And
from Chelsea, I've really enjoyed watching Rudiger play today.
Yeah, Rudiger's been good. Rudiger always. That's the thing is though with Rudiger now I've zoned out because he does have those fantastic runs, doesn't he? And I've now zoomed out with them. But that's a mistake there from the United defenders. Romelu Lukaku had to slow down the play a little bit. Reece James is blocked off there. Is that a foul? Referee deems it's not from Bruno Fernandes, and United might be able to go the other way. Yeah, I feel like I've just zoned out of how good Rudiger is sometimes because I've seen him do that run so many times and just can't be stopped.
That's what I call the Phil Jones run. Yeah.
It's weird because I think in modern football, David Luiz sort of modernised that, didn't he? I don't think we had it in football, but it wasn't as common. And then David Luiz came to the Premier League for Chelsea, and he just seemed to do it all the time.
God, I sound like such an idiot with those Brazilian centre back used to do it all the time, but I've completely forgotten his name. Before David Luiz. Because I remember when Phil Jones signed, he got compared to that said Brazilian defender.
Fred. It was Fred. Here's Pulisic into Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, has he got some room here? Is he going to pull it back? Oh, he's gone for a corner instead. For God's sake, we can't score from corners! Guess what? Another Chelsea corner. Exactly, Oliver. I saw him come off the line today too. He doesn't often do that. I think he's on about David De Gea there.
Yeah, he's probably terrified of Rangnick trying to drop him.
I'm getting really nervous. I'm going to be so annoyed if we don't get 3 points from this. And I'm going to celebrate so hard if we score. Here's Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech whips one over. Is anyone going to get the head on that? He falls in the box. Oh my God. Who did that fall to? Right in front of the keeper. United might be able to go themselves here, but Reece James with a good turn of pace there and rolls it all the way back to Mendy. Oh my gosh, who did that drop to? Oh, Chelsea with a golden opportunity there. Oh no, Mendy's giving the ball away. He's giving the ball away high up the pitch. Oh, Chelsea got away with one.
It fell to the right person. It fell to the most important player on the pitch, but just could.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oliver says, Fred, never change. Oh dear. What awful, awful attempt at goal. Can't wait for it. The Sue free kick. Ronaldo scores his free kick. Here's Jorginho. Rolls to Loftus-Cheek. Everything happening in these final few minutes. Everything happening. Will we get a winner? For the drama, I kind of want a winner. That's one of the first mistakes Mendy's made in a Chelsea shirt. I must be honest, but it was an awful ball from Mendy, and he's given it to Fred. Unfortunately, he didn't give that to Ronaldo, because if he'd have given that to Ronaldo, I think that would have been punished.
I do love what he was trying, though. Just that little chip / lofted.
Finesse shot type shot.
Yeah.
Bruno's coming off. He's making way for Donny van der Bench. Beak. Damn it.
And got a piece of paper. You always wonder what the piece of paper says.
It probably just says, oh, well, Fred's got it. I was going to say, it probably just said, don't give it to Fred.
He's like, why on earth did you shoot there? You pass the damn ball to someone who can.
It's just like, lol, made you thought. Or just a your mum joke to try and get him fired up. Chalobah to Pulisic. Mount runs in behind. Mount shrugged off the ball easily, way too easily, but Mount does really well to win that back. Into Lukaku. Lukaku, can he shift it? Into Ziyech. Ziyech is going to try shoot. It's ricocheted off a couple of players there. A couple of players appealing for a handball. Referee says no. A minute left. Oh, you've gone down because the ball's hit you in the face. Grow up. Fred, man of the match, would have been confirmed if he'd have scored that. Did they even hit McTominay in the face?
Yeah. Could have killed him.
Joe Mama. Ha. Got him. He could have been killed. I'm going to feel really bad now if he's like genuinely injured.
Actually concussed now.
Yeah.
Oh, we do get a concussion sub now, don't we?
Yeah.
So I can see Phil Jones stood up, getting his legs one there.
Phil Jones.
Could be time.
For God's sake, as if Jorginho made that error. As if. We're just waiting for Scott McSauce to get himself back on his feet here. I'm still not sure that's a foul on Thiago Silva for the penalty, but Jorginho dispatched it nicely. That's not my job. Has Jorginho got the ball in his hands? We've got 5 minutes of added time here. I'm sure there'll be a little bit more if Scott McSauce is still down.
But this is where my stop clock idea would be amazing. Because referees are so inconsistent with adding injury time to the injury time, and it almost never reflects how much time has actually been sort of wasted.
Yeah. I wonder if you added up how much over a season, like how much you'd lose.
Yeah, so do you remember we had a chat before where there was one game where it was 52 minutes, it was a Burnley match, and that was it? The ball was in play. I think the average lingers around 60 minutes. It's sort of like
Umar says, I'm going to start with you for this one, Yusuf, because I feel like you're going to have a much more positive tone on this one. Happy with a 1-1 draw, guys?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually never really happy with a draw because it's sort of like, it opens up a realm of possibilities. Like, what if you risked it?
Yeah. I personally am not happy with this second half Chelsea performance. I don't think it's been cutting edge enough. I spoke in the first half about how Chelsea needed to be clinical because United would take their opportunity. They did, and they have done. And Chelsea have put themselves in this position. It's been all their own doing. And Chelsea are going to end up being reeled in here by Manchester City and Liverpool. Never too late, says Oliver. No, it's not too late, but I think it is a little bit too late for Chelsea. If you see me celebrating in a few minutes' time, I will be absolutely elated. But Ronaldo picks himself up a booking as well. I just don't think it's been good enough for Chelsea. I really don't. It's not been good enough.
Well, it hasn't been a great game, footballing-wise.
No. But it's just Chelsea haven't been clinical in the final third. They can't seem to break United down, which I did not think would be a problem today because United have looked so easy to bypass at the moment. Loftus-Cheek, good dribbling there. Really good strength, but Fred's done really well there. Lovely defending from Fred. And he's delivered it to Jesse Lingard. Ronaldo's definitely offside there. Yeah, I'm 100% sure he's offside there. He's going to score, but he's definitely offside. Thiago Silva ends up making the tackle. Is he giving us a corner?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, it was definitely onside.
Offside.
It was definitely onside. So
he's miles offside. Are is miles offside.
So just because I'm really bitter, do you remember the goal Drogba scored at Old Trafford where it was like 4 yards offside?
I mean, that was years ago. That was at least 10 years ago.
It was more than that. It was like 2008 or something. I was like,
How? How have you... Imagine if he scores now.
it'd be thoroughly well deserved because we've been incredible. So,
No, it wouldn't. Shut up.
I mean, I'm not sure what Tuchel's so angry about. I mean,
He was miles offside. That's why he's angry. How have they given that?
yeah, it's a well deserved booking. You can't react like that. That's just unfair.
No, you can't. But I did. You can. You definitely can. When the referee should have put his...
It was a close one, you know. You gotta give the attack, you know. Sometimes
It wasn't a close one. It was miles off. It was at least my arm span off. It was that far off. I literally said it as soon as it was played. Oh my gosh, that nearly falls to Ronaldo there. Comes out to Fred from the following corner. How have they given that? How?
Yeah,
How?
Even I said he was off. So
I don't understand. Chelsea now under the cosh because of this. Aaron can't take his dodgy stream anymore. Umar says book him, ref. Who, book me or book Tuchel? Tuchel has been booked.
I think he should have been sent off. That was just disgusting.
Good to see some passion, though. It's good to see someone knows the offside rule. You know, now United will wind it down, won't they? They're going to wind down the clock. We've got about a minute left, but I think we'll have about 2 or 3 in total because we did waste a lot of Scott McSauce and Thomas Tuchel time.
So if the referee blows his whistle early, will you support me in my stop?
Oh, I support you in the thing anyway. I think we should because we do lose like valuable seconds of gameplay that we could potentially need and use. Of course, I appreciate that players have to get themselves set up. Chelsea looking long here for Lukaku, but it's a dodgy ball again, and United might be able to go here with Donny van der Bench. And Jorginho's given away another foul. How? Oh.
I mean, it could be worse, Sam. You were losing at one point. You know, you could be grateful for the point.
It doesn't do anything for us, though. It literally does nothing for us at this current moment in time. I think we'd have still been on top of the table for goal difference.
As a United fan, I stopped looking at the table a long time ago. So,
yeah, where are United? 8th. You've lost as many as you've won. Yes, Sam, be grateful, says Harry. Lino, I'm legally blind.
Oh, beautiful from Wan-Bissaka.
United running it into the corner, but Lukaku's done well there.
Downstairs, so I've no idea what's going on.
You are?
Just a bunch of people were shouting downstairs because
United might have one more opportunity here. Good tackle from Rudiger. Fantastic stuff. Now let's go. Let's get this up the field. Come on. Bit of urgency. Get everyone up there. Get him up there. Get everyone and his dog up there. Pulisic, don't. Oh, Pulisic has won a free kick, but he should have just passed it. This is going to be Chelsea's last chance, surely. Chalobah goes to Mount. Mount threads in Ziyech. Ziyech has to come back on himself because he's Hakim Ziyech. Rolls it into Pulisic. Pulisic, can he pick someone out in the box? My stream's lagged. Falls to Rudiger. Oh, no. Oh, Rudiger. Oh. Rudiger, no.
He's no Fred, is he?
Oh, Rudiger. He's blazed it over the bar from about 8 yards out. Antonio Rudiger. Oh, Rudiger. Rudiger.
So I've got a message, by the way, Sam.
What?
So Carrick in commentary apparently just mentioned stop the clock. So he's obviously watching the stream.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the 6 viewers. My heart says Umar. Oh, God. Rudiger, that was your opportunity, lad. And there it is. There is full time. Oh, my God. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. I am gutted. Chat, let us know your thoughts on today's game. Rudiger should have taken a touch.
I think Chelsea were very lucky to get the draw, to be honest. It was
I'm going to replace you with Hyro.
as long as if he's the United expert, I'll be the Spurs expert.
I should have got you both on for United Spurs. That's what I should have done. On Sakiko. Yeah. We'll do that next time. Max is laughing, saying, haha, at least I'm not a Spurs fan, Max. At least I'm not a Spurs fan. Carrick's resume, no losses. Yeah, give him the job, Carrick at the wheel.
Got to consider it.
100% UCL win rate. Precisely. But Chelsea, how far off were Chelsea in that second half? They were so far off. And Chelsea, I think Chelsea will be fuming. I think Tuchel will be fuming. I think they'll genuinely... That performance in the second half just wasn't fantastic. Like, to come off a 3-0 win against Leicester, a 4-0 win against Juventus, to then draw 1-1 with a Manchester United side that was subpar, Chelsea will be absolutely fuming and gutted that they didn't take more from that. Chelsea should be back 3 points at the top of the league, and they should be where they rightly deserve to be. But Chelsea have been woeful today, especially in that second half. First half was good, but like I said, in the first half, I think I said it in the first 10 minutes, if Chelsea don't take their opportunities, Manchester United will pounce. And that's exactly what they did. Jorginho made his mistake, and United easily walked through. Easily. I'm absolutely fuming with that result. Absolutely fuming. And I might not appear to be, but I am. I'm absolutely fuming.
No, you appear to be fuming. Yeah,
First 15 minutes, Aaron says, I thought Man United were going to get spanked. That's what I mean. We didn't take the opportunities. Hudson-Odoi had that chance early on. Fair enough. Great save with his feet by David De Gea. But that should have sparked something. Chelsea should have been more confident going forward. But they just weren't. They really, really weren't. And they look afraid to shoot. When they don't have Reece James or Ben Chilwell in attacking positions, they look scared to shoot. Oh, God. Louis says, I would rather go starkers in the snow than watch that front three start for Chelsea again. I would agree. That front three today was not fantastic. Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech and Werner. I've criticised Hakim Ziyech so much, and I think it's so deserved. Hakim Ziyech in a Chelsea shirt has been nowhere near the player that he was for Ajax. And of course, players have different, forms at different clubs. But he just looks so clumsy. He gives the ball away. His touches are poor. I sound like I'm describing Fred, but I'm not. I'm describing Hakim Ziyech, who today was supposed to be that man who does well for us. Yes, he's scored a few goals against Manchester City, but that's all he's done. That is all he has done. And Louis says also, Chilwell is out for the rest of the season. We need another left wing back. We most certainly do. Alonso wasn't awful today, but he's not at the level. Not at the level. That corner when Ronaldo was offside is a joke. Totally agree. I wish he'd scored from that corner. It would have been too funny. Umar, me and you are going to fall out, mate. Me and you are going to fall out. And Aaron says you appear to be fuming. Yusuf, take it away. Your thoughts.
Well, on Ziyech, I completely agree with you for completely different reasons. So a couple of years ago, I did a Ajax stadium tour. And on the Ajax stadium tour, we went to the players' car park where Hakim Ziyech's car was there. And it was just the most disgusting car I've ever seen. So for that reason alone, I just cannot like him.
What do you mean by disgusting? Like,
oh, it was some garish colour. It was like the Lamborghini 4x4 thing. It was just disgusting. And you can tell he drives it around like a twat. So,
God. Yeah. God. But other than that, what are your thoughts on the game? As a United fan, is that a promising performance from United?
Not really. We didn't really show anything beyond scoring from a mistake on a corner, on a counter or from corner. I'm really not putting much hope on any single performance or being like, this is the corner turned. We should really be focusing on long-term changes. And I think long-term, you're in a much better position than we are. So it's really, I should probably be angrier than you are.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're in that position of transition, whereas Chelsea, they should be out of this now. We should be taking points today. We should be. And all good teams, will win the Premier League. We saw it with Liverpool a few seasons ago. When games like this get tough, they win the games and they get themselves over the line. But Chelsea, they just don't seem to have that at the moment. Yes, against Leicester, we were phenomenal, but that was phenomenal. Even when you're not good as a top side, you need to be winning. And today, that was a prime example of that. Umar says it's not promising at all. Lol. I mean, it's going to be a period, like I say, a period of transition for Manchester United. United, they'll take the point. I'm sure Michael Carrick will have served his purpose today and over the last couple of weeks. Got United through to the next round of the Champions League. That was the important thing. Maintained United, stopped that sort of free fall that United were in for a little period after the loss from Aston Villa. And of course, the loss against Watford stopped that free fall. And, he has cemented them. And today, managed to take a point from a Chelsea side that were definitely disappointing. And I don't know what else to say. You can blame it on injuries, Chelsea being short of players. But the thing that Chelsea have lacked over the last 3 seasons, even when Eden Hazard was here, what Chelsea have lacked is a key goal scorer. They have lacked a key goal scorer. It was before Eden Hazard left, Chelsea were reliant on Eden Hazard. Before that, we had Diego Costa, and it's been that long since we've had a goal scorer who scores consistently for us. Yes, it's harsh to mention Lukaku this season, but also Romelu Lukaku. How many people had him down to be top goal scorer this season? How many people? Loads of people had him down. Top goal scorer. Oh, Lukaku will score all these goals. Oh, Lukaku's back. How fantastic is this going to be? Obviously played for United, scored 15 goals in a season, played for Everton, scored like 24. And he's just not hit the ground running. And yes, I have to be patient. Yes, I have to wait, and we have to build the team around him. But Chelsea today, the epitome of what is wrong with this Thomas Tuchel side is exactly what happened today. When the fullbacks aren't scoring, Chelsea don't score. And it shouldn't be like that. In every other team on the planet, never do you have to worry if your fullbacks aren't scoring. If you went to Liverpool, your fullbacks aren't scoring, you're rubbish. Well, I mean, no, because Mo Salah's still scoring, Sadio Mane's still scoring, Diego Jota's scoring. But Chelsea don't have that. They don't have that option. They're not clinical in front of goal. The first 45 minutes showed that. The second 45 minutes showed how on the ropes we were. The whole time, Chelsea were exposed to counterattacks because they were leaving one man at the back. And that is what, at the end of the day, caused the problem. It really did cause the problem. Anyway, I'm done ranting. Is there any more thoughts from you, Yusuf?
Yeah, I just want to enjoy seeing it like this, to be honest.
Well, we'll see you come the end of the season when Chelsea are lifting the Premier League and the Champions League titles above their head nicely yet again. But we will leave you all there, guys. Thank you for those who have joined us. Thank you to those who stuck around for the whole game as well. I really do appreciate the support. And, of course, thank you to Yusuf for letting me be his host for today and coming on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Have you had relative fun?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing for half of it. I was pretty much just watching the game. But,
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Watch the game, and then when I ask you a question, reply to a game. Umar says, good stream, mate. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you in another stream. I'm sure I'll be streaming some others lately in the future. Wednesday night, we are going to be doing the Manchester Derby. Manchester Derby? What? Liverpool.
You got me terrified for a second.
The Merseyside Derby. We're going to be doing that. It's not another Manchester Derby. Jeez. We're going to be doing the Merseyside Derby on Wednesday. Liverpool versus Everton, because I won't be getting back until a little bit later on. So 8:15 suits me perfectly. So make sure you've got your notifications turned on for us so that you can come on down and join in with a bit of fun there as well with a Merseyside Derby. So thank you again to Yusuf. Thank you to you guys. And most importantly, guys, stay safe.